This is just Ashley Keaton. Man, we have such a wonderful show today. We're talking about social media and how it could be potentially ruining relationships. Hey, man, let's get into this. Hey, also, this is just Ashley Keaton. We're here to help you get blessed, confess, finesse, enjoy the process. In the name of Jesus, can I get an amen, y'all?
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Just making sure
It's
we're
live.
Everybody's good.
Mhm.
Cool. So, there are certain statistics that I looked up on, ChatGPT, and very interesting stuff to show. First of all, guys, like the video. It really helps us out with the algorithm, helps us get the video out there to as many people as possible. So don't be afraid. It's not going to show like on Facebook. If somebody's like, oh, I don't want nobody to see that I like the video that I'm watching in. Because on Facebook, you got to be careful because they're going to know that, oh,
Yeah.
brother so-and-so like this video that's not of God. So, and also subscribe if you're feeling it. Hit the bell notification to get notified every time we go live. We go live every Friday just about at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Might be switching to 7:30 because I feel like that's generally the time that most people are available. And me too, because I'm always running behind doing stuff. But also shout out to brother Ashley. You know what I mean? This brother been praying. He been here since day one, and we even changed the lighting, and he's still the same. So he's in the world and not of it. You know what I mean? For sure. So, the color changing didn't even affect him, but we're gonna fix that and update his picture in a minute. But some people are like, how you get brother Ashley on camera? Because it's a picture. So, amen. But yeah, so we're talking about the good and bad of social media, some statistics. We got certain questions that we're going to bring up. So if anybody else has questions during the live that you want us to answer, please put them in and we will talk about it. So keep the conversation going because you make this show better. You know what I'm saying? And also if we get, a lot of people in and we're unable to get to the questions, you can do a super chat and we can read it and you'll jump the front of the line. We may even do like a crazy dance or something. If you super chat that thing in there, you never know what you can get us to do. I'm not gonna turn it to NPC, but I will, I won't do something strange for a piece of change, but I will, bless the Lord if somebody put some money in the bank, whatever. I don't know. I couldn't rhyme after that. I ran out of rhymes.
I was gonna let you keep
I
trying.
will dance one time if you put in a dime. I don't know. That's all I got. So, so how is everybody doing? We got an awesome crowd today. Awesome group today. We got Ryan Nana in the building.
Hello.
Man, and we got Creonsha in the building. And she ain't coming to play, boy. She coming to set it straight.
No.
Set the record straight.
Hello.
Put some respect on Creonsha's name.
Yeah, you don't never know what I might say.
You never know.
Right. Okay, we on the same page.
You never know.
Strap
Then
up.
we got Terrell.
What's going
Sending
on?
the demons back to hell. Making sure
Hey,
he done well. All right, nobody know what's going there.
No, I definitely did it. I was like, threw me for a loop. I was waiting to hear you done well.
Yeah, man. Well, bringing the water back to the
Well,
Well.
Yeah,
okay.
all
But
right.
see, that one was the better setup. The other one was kind of confusing.
keeping
Yeah.
Jonah out the well.
Oh, who knows?
Keeping him out the cell too.
Yeah, no, we wasn't
But look,
expecting
man.
that.
That was hilarious.
So how's everybody doing? How you doing, Ryan? What's been going on with you?
Whew,
Let us know. The good, the bad, the ugly.
well, I've been doing good. I'll say I'm doing good. Switching up, some old habits, breaking some old habits, creating new ones.
That's right.
Just taking things day by day, following the good book of the Lord,
Amen.
taking it step by step,
Or the book of the good Lord. Yeah,
that too.
That's another way to say it. A little more true in the scope, make it a little more accurate.
Hello.
Yeah. And then Creonsha, what's been going on with you?
Pretty much same thing. Get myself together near the end of college, so I graduate in May. So yeah.
All right, that's what's up. And then Terrell, we know him very well.
Here
How
we
you
go.
doing, brother?
I am doing.
Let him know what you got going on.
I'm doing
too.
outstanding. It's been good. The last week has been great. Done started doing a little streaming. And
Yes,
so
sir.
Just practicing, like, being in front of the camera and, like,
Yeah.
getting better in life. So life's good.
Yeah.
Amen.
Might have to join you on some of that streaming.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Come get some. You know what I mean? So yeah. And obviously, been doing pretty well. God has been blessing. Everybody's links are in the description if you want to, check them out at any point. We're being
Hey,
trained to
T.
be ministers. You know what I mean? We're definitely.
You see Tamara?
Tamari? Oh,
No,
Ryan.
no, that's TT.
Nah.
No, that's T.
I thought you said Tamari.
No.
Who you talking about then?
Yeah, right there. Law.
We got Chris Tucker in the
I call her T.
Krista Tucker. Chris Tucker
Chris.
in the building.
Terrell's
Come on.
wife.
We got a
$1
few
million.
people in there. Oh,
Rick Rich is tuned in. All right. Oh, we
it's
got
getting
got
hot,
some
boy.
Crips up there. I see some blue hearts.
Whoa.
I know what that means. No, I'm just playing.
I
I got a little street cred. Let me stop.
Don't do it like
think
that.
you lost a little
I bet
bit.
there's a story behind those blue
That's
hearts.
our thing. That's
I'm
our
just
Oh, for real?
No, yeah,
See, look, you trying to
Okay.
take that cute little
it was
story
used
away.
in their wedding. The blue
Oh,
hearts.
really?
Oh, okay.
See,
okay.
background story.
Yeah.
I thought I was on to something. My bad.
No.
I thought y'all were gonna tell me, yeah, you right.
No. There go Haley.
Nah, God be going in. Haley, what's up? Haley on the daily.
Okay.
What's she say her rap name was?
Lil
Hay.
Lil Hay. What's up, Lil Hay? There she go.
Yeah. What's up? She gonna be on the show soon. So yeah, y'all. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm trying to push the comedy, out there as much as I can. Trying to get back on the music, but it's taking me a minute. You know what I mean? Just to get that consistent schedule. But yeah, these episodes are, gonna keep going.
Okay.
Doing my clips, my shorts, and all that stuff, using the Joe Rogan method. So we're gonna keep it going. Yeah, tomorrow.
She said these names.
Tamaria, these names. Yeah, we in here.
In the heezy.
So first of all, let's just open it up
Yep.
in your mind. The good, the bad,
Mm-hmm.
the ugly of social media
Mm-hmm.
in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Net positive, net negative.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I definitely think social media is
Get rid of it. No, just playing.
no, like seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, all jokes aside, like, I think it's good business endeavor wise. I think it's good connectivity wise. I think it was
Yeah.
amazing during COVID when,
Yeah.
a lot of us were shut out and a lot of people's mentals took a dip, and we kind of needed that thing to connect us to other people and human connectivity. But I think it's numbed us so much to a lot of things, killings, deaths, sexual prowess, different things, or just worldly things that we've just become very numb to, and just like, oh, that's just, everyday life. Like literally a 3-year-old with a lace front on. And they're like, oh, wow,
That's
creative
ridiculous.
expression.
No,
And
that's
I'm like,
not
are you what? Like, what are we, huh? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's
Yeah.
just, I think it's gotten to a point where I think social media has taken on a thing of itself, and it's kind of something that we aren't in control of anymore. It's in control of us, and I think that's the scarier part, is that we still think that we're in control of social media when it's actually the complete opposite. And so I think that's when you kind of have to pull back, because it's giving iRobot at this point, and I'm good. So I just
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because everybody's trying to go viral.
Man,
So
what?
they're just doing whatever to go viral.
Right.
And you're also, I forgot to look this up. I meant to look it up. The statistics of suicide in the youth back when it wasn't as prevalent today. But now you look everywhere, 13-year-olds, 8-year-olds, like committing suicide because people are cyberbullying and stuff like that. So yeah, social media has gotten out of hand completely. Yeah.
What you think, brother?
So when I was thinking about relationships and social media, I immediately thought of it from like a romantic relationship perspective. And so for me, I think social media is one of those things, like it it thrives when people are paying attention to it. So you have to give it a lot of attention to grow it. And
Yeah.
like I think in a relationship, that's the same thing. You got to give a relationship attention for it to be successful. And so they're kind of like sitting there in direct opposition where you're supposed to be sitting down, maybe having dinner with your family or whatever, but
Yeah.
you sitting over here scrolling and like you there, but you're not really even present.
There it
So
is. Presence.
I won't say social media is like the crux of the problem, like the source of the problem, but it definitely is like a like it can accelerate certain problems that you may
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just want to go over a few statistics that I found.
Okay.
As of 2024, about 30% of United States adults have used online dating sites or apps. Pew Research Center, that's where that comes from, and 12% of app users report that these platforms have negatively impacted their self-esteem. American Psychological Association, and 12% is probably the people that actually notice. Approximately 45% of relationships that began online result in marriage. What?
What was that percentage?
What was it?
It
How much
said
is it?
approximately 45% of relationships that began
Wow.
online result in marriage.
Yeah, Hinge is crazy.
Compared to 20% of relationships that started through traditional means. Journal of Marriage and Family. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Well, it sounds like we're doing pretty good with social media. So,
Well, I mean, in
but
hindsight's
it
20
result
yeah.
even though it results in marriage, it's not like a a
It's-
thing that like I mean,
It's not a godly marriage, so they're
85% of
comfortable.
relationships don't last. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Are they still married? Because
Yeah.
they are.
No.
Oh,
I'm
I'm just saying because I'm sure some of those ended in divorce.
Most of these people don't even know what the real definition of marriage is and like what that actually
They
stems
just wanna
from
have a dick
baseline.
down.
You know what I'm saying? They're just thinking, oh, we put a ring on it and we get, we're connected as two people now, so we're just gonna go and get married. It's like, where is your foundation of marriage coming from? That's what blows me. It's like 45% ended up in marriage, a worldly marriage. So sure, congrats to you guys. But if we're talking about a godly marriage and like the unity with him in the middle, there's not that many percentage of marriages happening that way, considering 90% of the conversations on these social media apps is trying to figure out if you're available at midnight to come hang out at their house. So it's like, I'm not going to, no,
I don't trust it.
sorry.
It's interesting that I hear so many people speaking like, I feel like this is kind of a common sense thing that social media has, affected relationships in a negative way. But at the same time, this is saying around 12% of app users report that these platforms have negatively impacted their self-esteem. Well, it's talking about self-esteem. So it's like that's not really even.
But self-esteem encompasses a lot more than I think people realize. Self-esteem doesn't mean, oh my goodness, I think I look ugly today. Or, I mean, self-esteem could be like, oh my goodness, I don't think I'm worth telling this guy, no, I don't want to have sex. That's self-esteem issues. You don't feel like you're worth being able to save yourself for. That's self-esteem. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's a broad spectrum of self-esteem. I, for one, do agree with that fact because when I was on dating apps, BC, before Christ, if anybody don't know, BC, I was on there for the wrong reasons, and I was on there looking for someone to fill that father wound hole that I had. And I was looking for, I need a daddy, so I need to go look for, a guy who could fix that. When really I needed my father, and he'll feel everything, and then we can just go from there. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with that, I'm on those apps. I'm posting pictures of myself that I'm thinking, oh, these guys will enjoy these pictures, and then getting mad when those same guys that I'm posting those pictures for are commenting in a way and asking me for sex. But it's like, look at what I'm promoting on there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this psychological turmoil of like constant like, ooh, I got a match. Ooh, he just wants sex. Ooh, I got a match. Ah, he just wants sex. And then I'm going in on these dudes like, how dare you approach me? He like, your boobs is out.
Right.
You got your everything is, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to look and be like, okay, well, I can't be a hypocrite. I can't sell sex and be mad when they want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So
It's crazy. The way you phrase it, because I was having a conversation with my wife about this, is like those dating apps are like dating, but like the Amazon version. So it's like a lot of times it's almost like you ordering people to your door.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
I would
Man,
say,
facts.
Like that is wild. Like
Yeah. But a
That's
lot of
just crazy.
times, the only
But
problem is you don't get what you actually
What?
saw in the
And you
picture.
can't return it. Like,
It's like,
On Temu.
nah,
yeah.
girl, you lied to me. You said your hair was dark brown, and you got pink highlights in your hair. You didn't tell me.
That's today.
Why they talking
Yeah.
about you? Her AI picture.
Oh, the pink.
Oh my goodness,
Oh.
bro. We not go. You know what? We not gonna start this because
When I saw those pictures,
that
I
AI picture
like,
was out of this world. The first one, I looked like somebody auntie. I had blonde curls. Then I was a whole
I was
man.
like, who is these people?
I'm looking
I think
around
you
like
switched to a woman on one.
y'all were the most accurate ones on there. You too a little.
Man,
I don't
that
know,
joint
mine was a
added
little
like 30 years of
awkward.
stress to me.
You get that GTA filter, you gonna add about 20.
That's
years.
man.
One did age you though, for real.
I was like, who is this?
I looked like somebody. I had a mustache and one of them. I was just like, this just disrespected all of me. Like it was the hat. The hat threw off the joint.
Oh my gosh, it turned your hat into like the
Everything.
Blonde
Grandma
curls,
hairdo.
grandma. Yeah. What is this?
But I
Anyway.
will say, when it comes to social media,
Yeah.
the issues I have with, I mean, it's like obviously, like I use it. I'm using it right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with social media, like Terrell said in itself. But when you understand what you are using and how to use it appropriately, there are certain standards that are promoted on social media. Now the world is fast, and the world is you can come get it, and da da da. It's just so easy. Everything is so accessible.
There it is.
So like you said, people are getting more desensitized to things.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is normal. So before, when we lived in like as far as a 0 to 10 scale of perversion or promiscuity, we used to live more so on a 2, maybe like 1950. Less than that earlier as far as what people showed, what we saw. Now we're probably on like a level 6.
No, come on
We
now.
on it. We
Sexy
past
Red is
6.
at 9 by herself.
Well, yeah,
So
but I
it's
mean,
like-
like every day, like walking in the store. I don't mean like media.
Oh, okay.
That's different. But like media, but that now
These people
social
had a-
media is definitely like a
Nah.
10 because
Yeah.
you have like pornography on social media. So I'm saying that's obviously that's a 10, but I just mean how it affects us. You got everyday people walking around like thinking 6 is just normal to walk around in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then the expectations are so high. Like what I can't stand hearing is, I want to make these changes to myself, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the people that want you to make those changes cannot be men that you actually want to be with for real. Like I'm always stressing that point, like the men that see those things or that have those desires and say, hey girl, you would look good if you if you did this or did. I was like, it's one thing for somebody to want to be healthy, but then another thing for you wanting to change them to look like somebody else or changing their body type to look like somebody else's. And it's really become such a Kylie Jenner world.
Nah. No.
Which you disagree, or you saying
I
like,
disagree. I think there's 2 spectrums. There's either you're going to be snatched BBL or you're going to give Lizzo. It's like,
oh, you're saying
no, but I'm just like, here's what I'm saying though, because there's a lot of women now that's like, release the stomachs, like just like be like body positive. You know what I'm saying, like body positivity. And I think
okay,
that
yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm
that's true.
saying, like the girls that love about it. I follow this cute little couple online on Instagram, and they're so cute because his favorite part about her is her stomach. But she's got, a very big stomach. But he says, oh, my squishy. Like, that's his nickname for it. It's my squishy. So there's girls under the comment that's like, well, then I don't need to lose my stomach because I'm going to find a man that'll squish it like that. We're getting away from the point, guys. It's like, you be comfortable in how you are, yes. Like, I think I've struggled with that a lot. Social media has caused me to struggle a lot with my identity and where I want to be weight-wise. And if I'm doing it for myself or if I'm doing it to get to a certain point to where I can think, okay, now I'm attainable now. Now I'm desirable now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I had to finally figure out, like, okay, what do I want and where do I want to get? And I feel like that's kind of being pushed in different directions because of how you know what I'm saying? Like, you see the girls, it's either going to be like Coke bottle, everybody shaped the same. Or them girls, it's just like all the way left, just sloppy, eating in the car, mukbangs every day. just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, did that face, flip the camera. That face you just made,
Yo.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's like,
It's
and
one dude that be eating
It's-
she
the
said
gummy
release.
bear. One dude
Correct.
be eating the gummy bear thing. And
Huh?
he be eating the what is it? The Dasani? No, not the
Ooh, that's good.
the Dawn soap
Huh?
that looks like a bottle of Dawn.
Oh, and it's
soap.
just jelly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. That junk
Dude.
filthy.
Dude make me sick, bro. Like he stop
Eat
eating
that?
all this gelatin.
He makes everything out of gelatin, but he makes it shape like other things. So
Oh.
it'll look like he's eating a bottle of Dawn dish soap.
Exactly.
Really,
That's
he's
all.
eating
What
like
Rick
jelly.
just said, they want you fat or they want you fake.
Okay,
That's-
thanks,
But that's where
man.
it comes
Rich.
in. You got to just
Yeah.
wait on God.
Hello. Hello.
Because you gonna get me however I come. If I like me, I'm short, so I don't do it for people. I do it for me to be comfortable. 'Cause
Right.
if I get too much weight on me, I'm miserable. Like
Yeah.
my back hurting. Like I can't do it. So for me, and then now I used to be at a place where I used to be like, oh, I want to look like this because I want to attract this type of man. But now it's like, no, you're gonna get me how I am, or you just not gonna get me at all. But that's where it comes in waiting on God. Like I feel like that.
How is it in a relationship for you?
They've been.
Oh,
together
you
for
asking
years.
me?
Yeah, I'm
You can
asking
turn
you.
the,
Yeah, yeah.
The main down just a little bit on that this board over here to the left, to your left. Like this, you see the metal piano man on the desk? It's right under him. So to the right, that one. Just turn it down a little bit, like a little bit lower than halfway. Okay. Just making sure we're not getting no echo. Cool.
All right, cool.
Now she said, how is it for you? And
So
your
what was
wife?
that?
How's
Like
for you?
essentially, like, because obviously you're happily married now and whatnot, and you're in your relationship, and so navigating social media as a couple now is a lot different dynamic. But I mean, as far as navigating your singleness and navigating through the types and stereotypes that they were trying to push onto you as a man of like what you should like, and then navigating and actually being able to find your wife, like how was that? I don't know if my question's making sense, but
The social media.
yeah,
effect
like
in finding his
yeah,
wife?
exactly. Like how did you
Anyway.
navigate through that? Because it was obviously prevalent. But
You went to Christian Mingle to find you? No,
Nah.
farmersonly.com.
So that's why I was saying, like, we didn't meet online. We wasn't a part of that 45% that met online
Yeah.
and got married. So
That's
They
all
got
I
met.
divorced right after. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they got divorced right now. That's speculation. But so we met in college. And so like if somebody was to ask me like how would I recommend you meet somebody, you meet them in the areas of passion that you have.
Yeah.
And so like we met, but I had a girlfriend at the time, so when I met her it wasn't like that. And so we just was cool for a while. And so I think social media, like later after like me and my girlfriend broke up, kind of helped us stay in touch
Okay.
in a way. And so I would say it helped. And then eventually we got back together and we had got rid of like certain apps. So like Snapchat, that was one.
Oh,
we
yeah.
both was like,
Gotta do that.
you gotta get rid
Gotta
of
go.
Snapchat. And like,
Gotta go.
she never really been the type to
I'm
like
surprised
post
Snapchat's
like
still going.
Revealing stuff.
revealing stuff. So like I ain't never really have to try to set a standard or anything because she already had her standards that she was on. So it
I know
wasn't
that's
really
right.
a point of
She said Snapchat. I know that's right.
So it wasn't really a point of opposition for us.
Uh-huh.
I think the only thing that is it's not even a problem. It's just the attention thing. So
Yeah.
you
You
just
want
be on
attention.
it all
Yeah.
the time.
Okay.
And
That's valid. That's valid.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, you ain't got the. They say if you want to know a woman, you look at the contents of a purse. You can look at the contents on her Instagram page now.
Well, my Instagram, I'm covered, baby.
man, hold up.
I got clothes
Yeah.
on.
I seen somebody. I was on Threads today, and they was like, they posted a thread. It was a
What's a
girl, and
thread?
she was like, Threads
the
is
new
the
thing.
app.
Hey, something
It's
that
basically
Threads is
like
the new
Twitter.
thing on. Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Well, I was on Threads today, and this girl was like,
One too many.
I lose it when a guy asks me for pics. Like if you're having a conversation with a guy, texting, whatever,
Yeah.
he asks you for pics.
Mhm.
And so I guess it was clickbait. I clicked it, and I went to her page, and the first thing I seen was like a picture of her.
Naked.
She wasn't all the way, but it just was like,
Oh my
he ain't
god.
gotta ask. Like he
Yeah.
literally can just look at your page and see it. So what are you talking about?
That's,
Like, why are
that's
you
so
making that
interesting
post?
to me though.
Yeah,
like
that is.
that's that because I do see that. Like okay, I'll use a perfect example, and it's not even a woman. This dude had his whole face tattooed. He's walking in the store. People are staring at him. I'm even like, yo, why in the world did he do that to, whatever. I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
I just seen him like, yo, gosh, I could never. Whatever
you
God did to my face is like, I want to keep it as much like that as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so he's going through the cash register. He's not the cash register. He's going through the lane, checkout, and this dude, I guess some guy that was working there, he was kind of like looking at him and said, "You want to take a picture, dude? You want to take a picture, dude? It'll last longer, man." And he's like, "What?" But I'm just thinking in my head, like, you did that to your face. So you're wondering why people are staring at you when you did that. It's like
It's like the girls that get the BBLs and they be like, "Why you looking at my booty?"
If somebody comes streaking through the street or the store and they're like, "How dare you, man, look at me?" It's like, bro, if you ain't got no clothes on, like,
I
what
ain't
are
gonna
you
hold you. It
talking
was a
about?
girl the other day. I was walking into Target. You know them the raunchy shorts? Where
The ones that be eating
it goes-
booty eaters.
It goes.
Can't even
It's
explain it,
like
boy. What?
it's like made to go. I was like, and I was just, you know how you try not to look, but it's like
You just
really
can't
came
help
out
it.
the house like with your rump.
My nana
hanging
call
out
it
the bottom
jean
of the
panties.
shorts, and then it's
That might be the best name I done heard from.
what?
She said
Jean panties.
Jean pant. Oh, wow.
You look like your booty hungry. That's what that is. They just your booty just eating up all the fabric.
Yeah,
Everything hanging out, nasty.
I don't get it. And you walk
Yeah.
outside like that, and then get mad when somebody holler like talking to you.
You paid $5K for a booty and mad people looking at it. It's like, why did you get it?
My thing is, I feel like they don't even really be mad like that. It's
You think
just
they
a
just-
part of the persona.
You calling out the fake.
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you look? Keep going. Stop.
Ew.
That
might
makes
be what
sense. That does make sense. Yeah.
Wow.
I ain't never thought of it like that, but it's like, please, how dare, because getting mad draws more attention though.
Yeah, I'm like, what you mad for?
Yeah, we practically matching right now.
Oh, y'all did that and we did that. Okay.
I just thought about that.
Oh.
Wow. Did y'all do it on accident?
Y'all did that and we did that.
I'm saying, did y'all put the mint green on the outside on accident?
No accidents.
You did it
No.
on purpose?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Straight coordination.
Bro. Yo, it's like we planned this for real. That's crazy.
Wait, the gold watch on the wrist, Ashley? It is?
I was thinking about putting my stuff on too.
You got
I don't do silver.
Go,
Oh, wow. What the? Okay.
go all on my
You got
chain.
your
Go all in
jeans
my
on?
watch.
Y'all, we're going to take a picture after this.
Yeah,
Hold up,
definitely.
you
That's crazy, huh? What you say, bro? Say it's on folks. What you say, bro? All right, man. So I'm gonna ask
He
one.
done got monetized. The monetized.
We got monetized. I think we got monetized about a week ago. You know what I mean? All right. So, how has social media changed the initial stating? I'm reading this wrong.
Okay.
How has social media changed the initial stages of dating and relationships, y'all?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like some people get in relationships now they just post it. Like, y'all ain't even talking about 2 weeks.
Oh, that's a thing now, though. Like,
But why?
you didn't, which, oh my gosh. I hate social
Then
media.
y'all break up 2
sometimes.
months later and get mad when we ask what happened.
Because if I don't post you in a certain amount of time, then you must be cheating on me. But the fact that social media is a thing, there could be some validity to it. That's what's so crazy to me. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
So
If you don't post me,
I mean, I get it.
What are you hiding me for is what they're thinking.
I mean, after a while, it
Hold up.
becomes hiding. But the first 2 weeks, baby, you can hold off.
you know what I'm saying? Talk about it.
Wait. Where my camera at?
Look,
I'm
I'm not posting you, girl. No,
I
I'm playing.
almost feel like as a lady, I don't know if you want nobody to post you until you get married.
Nope.
No
Man,
cap.
Oh,
hello?
Thank
Do
you.
not
Bro.
air me out
Get
to
them
know.
horns on
Like,
yourself.
man, let me tell y'all something, ladies. Y'all are silly. Let me tell you, because I'm not for the no holds bar, for real. Why on earth would you want to have a potential post you all up and through their page and then you can't even control if they take you down? You know how many people I've seen break up and man still got you on his page? Are you kidding me? Unless I have a ring,
My brother-
you cannot post me at all.
Well,
Like not even
can't post.
no, it's not allowed. Don't even
Our
tag me
brother
in
did
nothing.
that.
Distance, but you good.
Don't even tag me in nothing. Like seriously, like because it's like it's giving because it's like I take that as like a you can't claim me until I'm fully claimed. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like posting me on your page is very solidifying and nothing's solid until I
Do
get
this
that
in the
ring.
right order.
Yeah, do it in the right order.
Order of our PIMDAS.
Are you really talking about Pimp Doc right now?
Gotta put it in PIMDAS.
Parentheses.
Yeah, parents. We're gonna have a whole acronym after the end of the show.
You about to make his head spin.
hold on.
Anyways, I definitely agree with
gonna
you.
come
That's,
up
I
with-
said all that to say I agree with you,
Slow down.
100%.
Order
Our brother
operation.
did
We're
that.
gonna put
He
PIMDAS
didn't
and we're gonna
post
make it into
Before him and
what they
Khalid
call
got
it?
married, they didn't post.
That's good though. That's great.
It wasn't until after they got married that's when they started posting.
And I feel like why rush into getting people into y'all business? You see what I'm saying? I feel like every YouTuber I've ever watched that do the pranks on their girl, posting their girl all the
They
time.
not
Yo,
Next
them
thing you know,
pranks?
man, the
Oh
pranks
my
be tearing
God.
these relationships apart.
They not together. You just seen Riss and Quan just went through something.
Look,
Mm.
I remember that one conversation we did have to have.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, don't even start with them pranks.
Yeah.
I feel
Talk
like your
about it, brother.
brother, one of your brothers,
Yeah, Jesse.
they was doing like
He
pranks and
guilty.
stuff. And I seen one, and I was like, bro, he looked like he was finna
Hey, he
finish
guilty.
them off.
I wish he was
And
on the
I-
show today, for real.
Nah,
And
he'll
I
be
got-
in the,
we
he'll
ain't
be in there
gotta
like
talk
not
about
too
that
much,
shit.
not too much. You
Yeah,
know.
I couldn't
Not
do
too
it.
bad.
What up, Jesse?
Man, Jesse, if you were, oh, there he go. So Jesse's a great guy.
Jesse been saying that the whole
He's
time.
really a man of God.
He was
you
waiting
know?
on y'all to say his name.
You was.
He is just, man. He's gonna be a pastor one day. He's a blessing to
Look,
this
we got-
family.
Oh, good.
He's never done anything bad. He doesn't believe in pranks. He's a great guy. So, anyways, next topic. No, just playing. But yeah, it's when you feel pressured to post somebody, you you joined at the right time. So, but when you feel that pressure to post someone, and then you're trying to make sure that their relationship is going accordingly. It's like even before, like I say, you introduce them to the whole entire family as like your person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it your person yet? Like, is the order of operation? You know what I mean? But I would say social media definitely adds a little bit more pressure to the relationship, especially like in the beginning when you first start talking to somebody, depending on who it is. Like you said, that's great. Like you said, like, nah, you can't be posting me.
Well, because I feel like why
got a whole lot
introduce
to
that
say. I can
toxic
see it in your
energy
face.
so early on? Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like slow down, enjoy your time together, enjoy the things that you do in the moments. Like there's too many times people will go on dates and the first thing they want to do is pull out their camera and record the food before they take a bite. Man, I'm hungry. I'm trying to eat. I'm not trying to take a picture of this spaghetti. You see what I'm saying? Like this the vloggers that be having their camera out 24/7, like trying to record their life instead of just being in the moment. Like I feel like social media really slows down the momentum of your relationship, in my opinion. And again, I'm speaking with somebody who's not been in a relationship. This is me off the strength of watching other people fail all the time and just be like, dang, taking notes. Dang, taking notes. And me having my little bitty encounters with possible relationships and they're not going nowhere. But it's just me personally. I feel like I would want to abstain from social media and integrate my relationship into social media as much as possible to be able to keep that and cherish it to myself. I feel like when I really like something, when I really love something, I keep it close to me and close to my chest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're really a part of my life, like you'll know, like social media isn't like, oh, we made it. Like this is the peak. I've peaked because I made it onto your
Like,
social
that's the
media. Like what if I
confirmation
delete
for
it
some
tomorrow?
people.
Are you gonna feel like we're not together anymore? You see what I'm saying? Like
Just
if I
kill that
delete,
relationship.
you just killed our relationship because you took me down. It's
All
like
memories.
I don't even have Instagram anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I
Yeah.
don't see it as being that deep. Like cute little posts here and there on the story. That's cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a certain level of expectations, I think, when it comes to what you see from other people, other pages. Yeah, so like, huh?
I was saying, I don't know what you said to me.
You saying? Oh, sorry. I
You
didn't
did
know
this
what-
right here, and I didn't know that, man.
No, I was like zoom in. This.
Oh.
I didn't get. I gotta give you signals. If I know the cameras, I could be like 2, 1. So yeah, so there are a certain level of expectations that come from the influence of social media. you know, when you see other relationships, that also can affect, like, I want to be
Comparison.
like them. I want to have their relationship,
No, I don't
not
either.
knowing what it actually is, you know?
Oh
She
my
could be
God.
getting
Man,
Oh,
talk
She
about it.
could
He
be
got
getting-
he got something that just spoke to him.
Yeah,
there you
she
go.
could be getting beat at night. I don't want that.
Who?
I said
But
she
that's
could
the
be
thing.
getting beat at night.
You
I
don't
don't
know.
want that. You don't know what they
We
got.
ain't talking
going.
about P. Diddy on here.
I'm
I
just
just-
saying.
Let me stop.
No. I'm just
Don't
saying.
P. Diddy.
What you
Don't-
was about to say? Because
don't
I know
want
you had
somebody else's
something.
No,
situation.
I just seen so
Nah,
much.
you right though.
Mhm.
It's like I'm gonna have to admit I have listened to hip hop, and so like there's I don't know how the people on here feel about that, but so J. Cole got
I
this
done
bar
lost
and
like
he's
16
like,
subscribers. since you said
I
that.
wanna
Like,
Jada Will love, I wanna, you know, stuff like that, and they
Yes.
like
yeah.
you idolizing these people,
Don't
and
even know.
whole time
Man,
they getting tormented.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I'm talking about.
tormented at home, and y'all sitting here posting talking about something. This is my, well,
I aspire to do that.
it's bagels for a while. I remember.
man,
So-
the bagels is crazy.
and it's
The
just
what?
like then you come to
Bagels.
find out years later, it's just like it wasn't even real.
oh, bagels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go.
Like, we ain't
Like
had
you
no
take this
bagels
one
in
couple,
here.
idolize it on YouTube, and then when they post up, we're split up video, and you're like, oh, my whole idea, yeah, we all got a BC life,
Exactly,
right?
BC,
But
BC.
you know, like everybody understands that though, but it's like them bagels stuff. That's why I
Try to show
really can't stand social media, because social media will have you creating your ideal of a relationship around something that might not even be true. Well, my boyfriend got to treat me like how this dude treats his girlfriend, because that's
Yeah.
what it looks like. That's perfect for me. And then when they break up, oh, well, if they not going to make it, then what's the chances for me to? It's like, don't do that. Like, that's how you get stuck being single forever, because you just closing yourself off before you even get a.
And the crazy thing is they be blatantly lying. Like I just going back to what I done seen. I be seeing people say,
Bagels?
I
Bro,
just
that's what I heard.
Bagels.
Oh, my
I
bad.
ain't gonna hurt. I heard that too.
But I done seen like 10 people copy a post talking about something. I just got 1 million followers overnight. Let me show you how I did it. And I click on their page and they got like the same amount of followers as me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so if you know people just doing that for clickbait, I seen somebody
You
say
fall
this, I
for
don't
it
remember who
every
said,
time, huh?
but they was basically like, it's people in relationships that just show up at the venue, take pictures, and leave and go another way in 2 separate cars, and then everybody back there together.
You heard about the lady that faked her wedding?
Yo.
You heard about
yeah, that
I
was
wish
insane.
We had that to watch.
That was
This
insane.
lady, she was, she wanted to take some pictures. I don't know if she was trying to make somebody jealous or what.
I think she was trying to make an ex jealous by making him, because I think he was on the verge of getting married. And so she was,
an actor or somebody to take pictures with a model, to take pictures
much work.
of the wedding, and she didn't have any family there. I was like, no, why would you waste money doing this just
too much work.
just to pander to social media? Gosh. And the bar has been set so high now because of social media.
Man, yeah.
You know, like I need my man to be this way. I need my woman to be this way. I need her to look like this. You know.
I need them to make, what does the average man make?
God.
Man, yeah.
He makes $250,000
Now it's out
a
there.
year.
That's
You got
so scary as
you got
well.
men taking certain women on trips and stuff. Or,
Talking about something make the first date a flight. First of all, you're an
If you
idiot,
make
because
it-
I'm not
I would
flying
say
nowhere
no.
with no stranger.
No,
Are
'cause
you
I
kidding
might
me?
not come back.
Right. That's the thing. Like, oh, you could be exquisite. It's like, okay, all these Instagram daters, cool. Right. Okay, now wait a minute.
No,
I'm about to say, hold on.
honestly,
We're not pulling
we
up the
was
Mickey
talking about
D's.
this in my we were learning, but after my pathology class, we were talking about it because my professor, he's like dating now, so he likes to talk to us, and he was like, no, I take women on coffee dates because in case I don't like you, I can just finish my coffee and be out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's actually smart. You just save money, and if you do like her, then you know go all out for the second date. But
Yeah.
that's actually wise.
I think
and plus I
coffee
like coffee,
lunch.
so
I think lunch coffee is like, especially for like a Christian that's not trying to get intimate quick,
yeah.
is a better move. And you get to find out, is this girl entitled? Is she gonna pull energy from me? Or is she gonna be understanding, knowing that, hey, I will do everything for a girl that don't feel like I deserve everything.
But I think also in that, there's a lot that you can pick up from a girl's personality by
Yeah.
seeing how they match your energy in a space where there's not a lot of energy. I think a lot of people want to do a lot of extravagant things to cover up the fact that they're not
please
exciting.
talk about that.
I mean, let's just talk about that. You want to take me to this five-star restaurant, these big flashy things, all this big flash and stuff to distract me from the fact that you're basic, like very basic, and there's not a lot of intellect there. Like, can you sit in a quiet cafe with nothing going on but a cup of coffee and actually hold a conversation? If you can't do that, the bare bones of it is in the dust already. So it's like a lot of people like to skip over the basic stuff because they don't want to find out fast that the person that they're talking to is actually of no substance. They'd rather pretend for months and enjoy the fake flurs of life and go through all these things and then find out month 6 when you either pregnant, romantically involved, sexually involved, or in love with this person. We're like, oh, you're actually basic, but I'll ignore all that because we're already so deep into it. If you would have just went on a basic date day one, you could have probably X'd out 90% of the red flags you found out later.
But people like that.
But, you know, hey, what do I know?
They're chasing it's like you're chasing a dream. The feelings that you have when you're on social media and you see something with the music, now you have to recreate that moment in real life. And when you do, you feel mission accomplished, but then you really, in your heart, it
Really
hit
big,
the
Jesse.
same way anyways.
Yeah.
So you're looking for this movie moment, and I'm going to tell you, even before social media, movies messed us up. The
Man,
music
what?
made us messed up, really, because you got to understand, this stuff is a fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, the real life relationship, I'm sorry to say, when you have this perception of what you think it's going to be and then you're let down, you don't get that gratification of finding out the truth of a real beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Your brain is so stuck on movie mode. It's like, hey, that's not really that good anyways. A movie lasts for 2 hours. Is that
Man,
the type
what?
of relationship you want?
Thank
And
you.
then after the movie is off, we don't know how that relationship goes.
Why you said something just then? Because
Man, for real.
No,
Because
for
every
real.
movie we see, they be like they have the whole romantic phase.
Yeah. It's a
Hallmark
They go-
movie.
Man,
they
love
have the
basketball,
Hallmark,
bro.
and then they say they got married and live happily ever after.
One of our
That's
friends.
when the relationship start.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Talk about it.
The real relationship start once you go. Like you go.
So,
up
bro,
there,
you gonna have me
talk
get
to
off my
this
seat, bro.
pastor. Huh?
You're going to have me get up on my seat if you
But-
keep talking.
But it's just like, because me and my wife, we had to have a real conversation. Because
Right.
I was like, this marriage is not your goal, right? Like, we had to really get clear. We was like,
Why
the
Jesse
marriage
said cartons
is
of
just
milk?
a door that we walk through into the
Emojis.
rest of our lives. And that's when we really got to see what we worth.
Yeah, because
seeing.
you grow into whatever you're supposed to be individually as people, and then you find someone that, okay, this could be a potential life partner that I could grow with and mesh together, and then you have to find out who you guys become together as one unit, because that also looks different. Then you have to be realistic enough to understand that me as a 30-year-old and then me as a 40-year-old are going to be two different people, and how do you accommodate that person down the line and grow with that person? So it's like these people stuck in these movies of, oh, I dropped my juice on the boyfriend. Oh my gosh, my husband. It's like, are you kidding me? Like I could
So,
tell
right,
you
girl,
right
let me-
in the first 2
let me
seconds
get
of a
that for
Hallmark
you, girl.
movie who is the ex and who's the husband by the end of the movie, because that's just how that goes. But it's like, truly, what is this? That's not a milk carton. That's Chinese food because she was cooking. Oh,
Okay.
LOL.
I was so confused. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, the
But
milk
it's
of
like-
the word.
It's just sad, because it's like, even sitting and having conversation, because I used to do a lot of hair for a lot of guys, and while doing hair as a beautician, a lot of people will know, if you do hair, you have a lot of mindless conversations. A lot of people, because I get homied a lot, which is something that made me struggle a lot with my identity in relationships, because my vibe is just so immaculate. Everybody just want to be like, oh, that's my dog, and I'm like, oh no. So but it's like, in that, I get a lot of conversations with guys, and like, it's crazy how you'll talk to guys and they'll be so pressed on a body type of a girl, and I'm like, do you realize when you get married and your wife gets pregnant, her body's going to change? You understand that? Like, boobs,
Yeah.
100% will never go back up to where they were. They'll be back down there and they'll stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be situations where, like, stretch marks will stretch. They can't unstretch. I mean, you can get smaller, but like, the lines will be lining. I mean, like, you have to understand, what you saw when you got married is not going to stay that way.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is, once they have the child, they're just beautiful in a different way. Because
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
go gain. It's like a different understanding of women once you go through that with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you sit through those, like, ultrasound things. You
different.
find out things medically about your wife.
Man, yeah.
That they deliver the news to both of y'all. Y'all sitting there like, oh my God, how we going? And then, preferably, you make it through all that kind of stuff, man. Y'all gonna be a different kind of locked in.
If you're in a mental space and a right mental space to be able to receive that change, because there's a lot of people who put on these facades, but that's why I say it's so important in the beginning, because in our last podcast we were talking about, we kind of touched on it when I said people are stuck in these DM relationships, in these text message relationships where people are just meeting each other fundamentally over messages and just getting baseline stuff. Like I tell people all the time, stop being scary when asking questions and being in relationships. Like people withhold their religion off the strength of the first few dates, so they're too scared. Like if he's a Muslim and you're a Christian, off date one, if you say that, oh, we don't have nothing else to talk about, we don't have to meet again. Like there's so many people wasting their time with people that they know is not their person because there's so much more potential. I'm so tired of dating the potential. Like we are too grown to be dating likes. I like this person. What does like mean? I could like chocolate milk. That don't mean I'm gonna drink it every day.
Yeah.
I could like seafood boils. It will, like, if I eat it every day, I'm gonna get fat. It's not healthy for you just because you like it. It's like you can like things that are not healthy for you, and just because you chase that like don't mean nothing. Like people really have to start waking up and finding something more than like to be able to describe. I like this person. Let me go for that. I literally screenshot the definition of what love was because I recall people are always like, "Oh, do you believe in love at first sight?" My answer to that is no. I believe you can believe in I think you can experience an attraction at first sight, but love encompasses so much more than just, oh, I like this person. Let's just, yep, that's the one. And it's like you get in this Delulu headspace and then be mad when all these red flags start popping up. It's like, had you have been in the real world and actually were taken into account, like love literally means strong feelings of affection, attraction, or attachment. Okay, how can I be attached to somebody I just looked at? Probably can't. Okay, how can I be attracted to somebody I just looked at? You can be. So there's attraction there, but I think people grasp onto that one too much. Affection off first glance. I don't know if you're affection off first glance. You could be whooping your mama down when you go home. How would I know that? By looking at you? You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that love encompasses, and I think a lot of people just want to use that word too much. Even when it comes to friends, that's my BFF. I love her down, but she's sleeping with your man. It's like you have to stop giving out titles to people that didn't earn it. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. I don't let people call me pet names. I'm not bae until you earn bae. Don't text me, hey bae. Who? Huh? My name's Ryan. Until you earn to call me babe, don't do that. Like I find that highly disrespectful to me. And most people will be like, "Oh, you're being dramatic." That's for you. That's fine.
Because they say that's how regular relationships go.
Right. I'm not a worldly woman, so don't approach me as such. And if
crazy
that's
that
the only way you know how to
yeah.
approach people, then you can move around because I'm not walking like that. So, and most people can tell off the strength, which I feel like, most people can tell. And I think I'm comfortable in my singleness now because I understand that my husband just must be a prayer warrior. He over here blocking all these dudes. Just don't even give her no time because I'm on the way. So I'm waiting,
I think your husband baptized with somebody.
No, I'm playing.
At one of these churches. No, let me stop. I'm gonna be done. What Jesse said is funny. They say, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
What you say?
It's funny they say they like them but don't even know them.
Yeah.
More like they were just attracted to their physical and the imagination of them in their head.
Wow.
There's a verse about that in Proverbs, I think, about the flattery lips and the lying tongue.
Oh, social media is highlights. Wow.
Oh yeah, highlights. But see, like a woman, when you see, oh my gosh, she's attractive. A man can put in his mind the personality that he thinks she has, and then when you find out the personality she really has, it's like, oh, you're not as attractive as I thought.
I was gonna say because as soon as they open their mouth, you be like, oh,
Different.
you're a little off.
It's different.
Yeah. So
It really is. But if you're so superficial, then it's like, oh, I don't care how you act.
Yeah, you're gonna ignore it.
I know where my brain is going.
Yeah, you're gonna ignore
You see what I'm saying?
all that.
But if somebody's just seeking, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like the difference between being you can put it on me. The difference between being healed more so in a healed place and being in a place of instant gratification where I want the pleasure, but then somebody's like, no, I know that this more I want to say intimate, but that can be taken the wrong way. It's more getting to know the person. When the Bible speaks about Adam knew his wife, I like that he used the word to know his wife instead
Well,
of
no,
just.
you can use. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you can definitely use the word intimate. Only people that aren't intellectual
That's
would
what I'm
not be able
saying,
to
just
know the difference.
because-
Well,
yeah.
because intimacy doesn't mean sexualness. That's two different things.
Exactly.
Me being intimate with you could be just a deep conversation. So you can use the word intimate and it not be misconstrued. Like if you misconstrued, it's because you're not smart.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
on
I guess
just.
it's just the context.
Yeah, the context. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but-
because like, if it's a
tell
more
his own.
personal, if it's a more personal relationship, you want
Jesse,
something
not too much. He
to
tossed
be
it.
able to. You want something to be able to. You want to get to know the person because you're looking for something to like. I don't know, like you're looking for that.
Yeah, I
friend,
get it, yeah.
Basically, you're looking
That's
for your
why I
best
love
friend,
his
you know?
relationship because he said they started as friends first. He had somebody else, so it didn't start like that. But I think that's what makes a great foundation.
And in the world,
you
that's how
know.
you end up in the friend zone.
Well, no, because I feel like there's
No,
no.
I was
Okay,
gonna
go
say
ahead,
no,
talk
not-
about it. Talk about it.
Oh, oh yeah.
I mean, you're right, because she technically was in the friend zone, and then we were both friend zoning each other. But I think there was always the attraction. piece.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
No,
it's like-
friend zone is though.
Nah,
Friend
explain it to
zone.
me.
Friend zone is when, cause I had this girl in high school say, I wouldn't want you as a boyfriend, but you would be a really good husband. So that means that
Oh yeah.
we not talking right now because she's not looking for, like, I'm not in high school, or maybe it's, you could say it's a
Bro.
childish thing, but friend zone. Let's say, for instance, I'm the guy. I want to talk to the girl, but she says, I see you as a friend. I'm not trying to form a relationship with you that way. Now, she could be saying that just because she don't have any attraction to me. You know, I
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. I was gonna say she could not.
Yeah, that's why I was wanting to ask, cause I was gonna ask that to them.
But you
Yeah.
know what? I would
Ask
say
it,
this.
ask it.
A lot of times, when I ended up in the friend zone, the girl liked me at first until I started showing that I'm a friendly person. And she's like, oh, no, I'm trying to do certain things that you're not really down
That's
with
called
doing.
a place marker, please, and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
The friend zone is a place marker. If you know you on that type of time and you on demon mode as a dude, but you see that you come across your potential wife, well, I'm not trying to get rid of her. You know, I want her still in arm's length, so I'll friend her right now, and I'll keep doing me. And when the time comes of when I start to step into that maturity role, then I'll spin the block on my friend because I never saw her as a friend. I saw her with more potential than that. But you know what I'm saying? That's the same with girls. You know, if I see, oh, he giving husband right now, I'm really giving sexy red. Let me stay on my sexy red friend. And then when I'm done doing that, if I can spin the block, then cool. We go
Yeah, I'm
back
gonna
to the
say he
friend.
might not be
It's a
there.
horrible mindset,
Definitely
but I'm
might
trying
not
to
be
get
there.
tapped.
I'm just saying he
Listen,
might not
I'm
be
not
there.
gonna sit here and
Like, you think he
sugarcoat
gonna-
stuff.
like,
no,
he
no.
not gonna be there.
Be
BC, Ryan,
Yeah.
this is
Be
how
there.
I thought. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
like-
And I
Yeah.
understand that. I'm not gonna always say you're gonna be there. But if you're toxic enough, you might. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
if you
And
or
if
if you
he's
if you
toxic, he
dense
ain't
enough
husband
and you don't
material.
understand that was what I was doing, then you will be there. But I'm saying
Yeah.
this is BC Ryan.
No.
talking. Trying
I
to get
agree.
you in on my mindset
Yeah.
of like how
I know
we
that's
used to
real.
think. Like that's a real thing. Like I will leave you as a place marker, go do what I gotta do, still tapping with you from time to time so you don't think that you just not, included.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like
real.
I'll hit you up
Somebody
now and then
that-
I'll call you and talk about how
That's
this
scary.
dude ain't treat me right to make you feel some type of way because girls will also do that too. That's a manipulation tactic. Coming to you and talking to you about my man problems so you feel sympathy for me, it's putting me in a spot of, oh, I'm demure. It's giving demure.
I've
Like
been here.
that's like I want you to see me as
No.
this pitiful thing. So when I'm broken and when I'm by myself, when I'm ready to take you, you come in as the knight in shining armor to save me. That's
Yeah,
a
but
very
don't nobody
toxic
want
way of
nobody that
thinking.
been all everywhere. and
Right,
done
anybody in a good
everything,
headspace.
like,
So we talking about worldly men, they'll eat
yeah.
that crap up. Trust me. Hello? I mean, I'm trying to put y'all on game now. Not that it's gonna work for none of us, cause we all,
No.
this is BC though.
When
I'm
I
trying to tell
leave-
you how we thought back then.
When I leave, I'm gonna figure some stuff to play. That was
Yeah,
just
but-
extra.
No, I was just gonna say she was saying like
That was
all-
cold for you didn't excite her. Yeah.
Hold on now.
Do you guys really
I
put
did
girls in
excite her.
friend
She
zone?
just,
You guys
she just
really
wasn't saved enough.
Okay, look, this is a question for y'all guys right here.
If a guy get a chance,
Do guys
he
really put-
normally.
Wait,
Oh,
where's that question? At
Right
the bottom?
If it's like way at the bottom.
Do guys really
Oh.
put girls in friend zone? If a guy get a chance, he normally taking it. If you're ready to take
Yeah,
it
I
at that
think it's
moment.
moment.
different for guys.
I definitely friend zone people.
I'm
Well, you just ought to be
straight
friend. You
face.
just ought to be friends on it. You talking about before you got married?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, because
Yeah, that just means
but that
that
taps into the worldly greed that
we
we have.
cool.
I think it just.
Well,
Oh, go.
Placeholder and friend zone are two different things. Because
Mm.
placeholder could be, I'm not trying to marry you. I'm trying to just do things. That could be a,
Somebody you do stuff, go bowling with.
yeah, cuddy buddy.
Yeah.
But that's a
Dude.
thumbtack, not a placeholder. A placeholder means I'm coming back. You see what I'm saying? But a thumbtack is like
Oh, I
eventually.
don't know the-
Listen, let me explain to y'all. Here's the thing.
terms then.
The placeholder, because if you think about what a placeholder is for, you don't ever get rid of placeholders. Placeholders are there when you need them to be put there. When you put a placeholder in there, it's like, hey, I'm 100% coming back to you. A thumbtack, I put you up on that board. Eventually, when I clear you off the board, I'm not coming back to you. I'm just gonna hang something else new there. A placeholder, I can't replace that unless I move somebody out and put another one in.
So I get
I'm
what you're
saying,
saying.
like, it's
But you know what, guys, friend zone is always described as a bad place to
But
be
you know what?
for
for the guys.
for the
Oh, for
moment.
guys.
If you don't get if nobody
Yeah.
spins the block back on you, then yeah, it's a horrible place to be. But if I spin the block
But
on
you
you,
should
then
be
that was
grateful
the
to be in the friend zone.
What do you mean?
if
by-
it don't have any
That's like-
standards, that's the
That's
chance
what
for
I
every.
found it.
Yeah.
What?
Look, what?
What?
Again.
No, y'all heard what she just said.
What?
happened?
She said you should be grateful to be put into the friend zone.
Because they're protecting you from some type of hurt.
I mean,
If I ain't want to be in the friend zone, I got plans.
That's what
I
I'm
don't care
saying.
nothing
That's
about
what I'm
No,
any of
because
that.
me personally, a lot of times we be trying to make stuff happen that ain't supposed to happen. So if she put you in the friend zone, enjoy the friend zone. Like that's all I got to say.
nah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's safe because you don't want to waste time with somebody.
Yeah.
But just because you're in the friend zone, don't necessarily mean that the woman that placed you there is like not quality.
No,
Not
no,
a
I'm not
value.
saying she's not quality. That's not what I'm
But
saying.
friend zone usually means the dude likes the girl
Yeah.
and she don't like him. So she's like, I love you as a friend.
You know
So
what?
he's sitting there like,
Yeah.
he might as well not even be there because he's just gonna keep liking her.
I
That's
I think
usually the
it's
friend
stages
zone.
where friend zone is okay.
If y'all are just
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
if y'all are just
yeah.
friends and you're okay with the fact
That's what
that
I'm-
that she don't like you and you're just like, okay, cool, and you're not thinking about it no more. Like friend zone is a simp that likes a girl.
oh, I hate that word.
I feel
You know
that.
why I hate the word simp? I hate the word simp because a lot of things that simps do are actually good qualities of the nice guy that people don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that new age, oh, he just a simp because he bought his
I
girl
would say
roses
to a certain
because
extent.
he opened the door for her. Like
think-
what are we talking about?
I think simp can be over exaggerated. But at the same
100%.
time, there are qualities where simps can be pushovers.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where I would say the balanced definition would lie. Like to say that a simp is somebody who just buys you roses, it's like everybody a simp then. Like for some now there is a toxic level of red pill and manosphere that calls every single person a simp just because they treat their girl right and they have a monogamous relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But the simp would actually be somebody that's like every single thing the woman wants, she gets it, whether the man don't give any say so about what he feels.
yeah, like if
That
you,
would be the problem.
if you got a girl and she like, my man can't tell me what to wear.
Oh,
I put this on, I go out the house because, and it's not like, cause
Yeah.
I ain't never had them problems, cause my wife, she'll be like, is this okay? Like she'll ask me that, but like if you got a woman, and everything she doing, you hate it, but you
Red
scared to
pill
say
simp
something,
is
cause you think she gonna leave and you ain't got
Exactly.
No, 100%.
yeah, Black Wealth Creator Podcast.
I think a simp is somebody that don't got options and they just take what they can get.
Oh yeah, those are the ones that make my heart hurt.
Friend zoned every single time.
I think people should really just take to go back into the whole, conversation. I think people should really just enjoy getting to know people. I think we're in such a this whole boom 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 everything got to happen now. We got to be in a rush. We got to get married next week. Like everybody's just so in a rush to do things and to meet these checkpoints so they can post it on Instagram. You're like, look at me, I got a man, post it. Look at me, promise ring, post it. It's like, what is this man's last name?
Now that's the thing.
What is this man's darkest
taking
secrets? What
it.
are we working through? Like you
Yeah.
going too fast, speed of light, because we feel like we're gonna miss something. Like we're on
Social
this
media makes it
time
worse.
clock. Yeah, and social media makes it worse because we're looking at people that's 22. This 22-year-old's a millionaire, and I'm 24 and sitting up
Oh.
still with 2 jobs. What am I doing wrong? It's like you're being a normal 20-year-old. Like
Yo.
the average 20-year-old don't know what they're gonna do
So
tomorrow.
for one, men today are making less than they were. I'm not talking about less like you could say we're making more because there's more money printed,
Yeah.
right? But percentage wise, what men can afford versus what they could back then is way less. We could afford more. There's some differences. There's some different things that's going on, and it would just be nice if people understood. Hey, it's a different world we live in. It's not as many women able to stay home. Let's just be real. It's great. Every man, I mean, if it's a real man that's ambitious, you know what I'm saying? Most of these men, hey, I want my wife to be able to stay home and not have to work. But realistically, I'm just going to say this, you have to look at the economy we live in today. The percentage of you finding a man that can provide for the whole entire household without you working is less. Can we at least just say that? Let's just be real. It is less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So back then you had the women taking care of the kids, but now the women have entered the workforce even more so, and they're doing tremendously well. So it there's more of a competition now. It's not just men against men to see who can get the highest corporate position. It's men versus women as well.
I think there's a way to handle that though. I feel like that annoys me quite a lot. That topic, the whole, if a woman is the breadwinner, then that emasculates the man in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, what do you say? I want her to stay home,
but these bills
won't let her. No, but for real though, I mean, like, let's just be honest. Like, if we can have a mature conversation with your partner about, like, look, this is what it is financially. This is what you're bringing. This is what I'm bringing. Let's just do what we have to do, and then kind of, go about it. But it's the women who do the jabs at the men that know they're making more, and they do the jabs that make it feel like men can't be in a position of making less than a woman without it being a place of inferiority. Like, oh, you feel like you're better than me. Like, if I'm the breadwinner, I'm not. You have to go kind of out of your way to make sure that you're comforting your man in a way that, like, you're making sure that they don't feel like you're trying to overstep. I feel like I would go more out of my way to do things to kind of make sure I made sure my man felt comfortable in that sense. But I don't really see why that's such a hot topic right now, because people talk about it all the time. Oh, I would never date no girl that make more than me, because what we doing? You taking me on dates? You must be paying for everything. And it's just like,
That's a good
I
topic.
understand
Let's
it.
get into it.
I understand like why men feel that way.
I definitely
Like
understand.
it's because of the jabs.
Right,
So it's
right.
probably they were around somebody that told them they wasn't none because they was making minimum wage. Like, and that's the expectation, like, of their,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, small society that they live in, because they may have a church or whatever. Just
Right.
like the man needs to be
The
the
head.
dominant one,
Yeah, he's the
and
head.
all that kind of stuff. And so I understand that perspective. I think it's really simple to. It's simple. It may not be easy to do, but I think it's simple things to do to just kind of get on the same page and
Yeah.
eliminate that. Like, if you just could just start saying, like, group, what are the pronouns? So we can say we're gonna buy a car. Our money is in the bank. Like, just simple things like that.
Budgeting together.
Yeah, like simple things like that make it feel more like it's a pool thing. But
Yeah.
so even like with me, like my wife, she does work, and I'm of the camp that if my wife stopped working, she gonna have to do something. Like, she can't just sit at home. But if like she did stop working and she was contributing in other ways, it would still be our money because we just got one account. We just all tied together. So it's really simple. It may not be easy to do, but it's really simple to just be like, this is collectively all our resources.
Right.
Like, that just make it a whole lot more simple. Like,
And I understand that, and I feel like I understand that aspect. It's more so it makes it difficult for people like who are single, who are in those positions, to be able to obtain guys who may not, like, we may have a connection because I make more than you. You X me out because of the women who did the jabs. You see what I'm saying? Like the holding the grudge type of stuff, like towards people who have done that to you in the past. Of like, oh well, I can't date nobody like that because my experience XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
there's.
That has to do with healing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It has to do with healing and stuff like that. But I find that disheartening because it's like it's never been that deep, but for some reason it's morphed into that. And I also think it's due to social media
Yeah.
because you're able to see everybody's wealth bracket or supposed wealth bracket on social media. You know what I'm saying? Look at the car she got. Might be posing in front of somebody else's car across the street. You know, look at the house she living in. That could
Somebody
literally
might
be
have posed
somebody
in front of their
she's.
car
That could have been
to
Airbnb.
build up their status.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've literally, like I'm very tech savvy. Like I would consider myself like I'm borderline graphic designer. Like if I want to be in Italy, I'll make myself look like I'm in Italy. Like it's not that hard. Like you do the edits and stuff. So it's like there's people out here making their lives look
I'm
like
trying to
something
stun
that's
But
not.
at what
somebody,
point do
so
we
you
stop
mind
looking at
photoshopping
that?
my picture for me real quick? I'm
I
trying to
got
stun
you.
on somebody because they, you know what I'm saying?
I
They
got
think they
you.
about that life, but
Oh,
hook me up, you know what I mean?
I'm weak.
Oh, I just want to
What
say
we
real
said, a
quick.
Creole show
Yeah,
thing.
go
no,
ahead.
I just was saying, at what point do we stop looking at it though? Looking at the social media and looking at that and what people are doing.
When we stop chasing the world and we start chasing God. When you start chasing God, God don't say go
Well,
chase us.
everybody gonna chase God.
I feel like just understanding what social media is can be a big help. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't
What
know
is
why.
social
like,
media though?
when
Most
I
people
look
can't say that.
Yo, that's what I was gonna
Social-
ask. I
Yeah.
was gonna ask that question. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be so exciting if a relationship posted? I mean, it's not that this is a good idea, but if a relationship posted, you know, they post all the good stuff. If they posted the good and the bad, they record it. Hey, y'all, we having an argument right now. And no, I'm not doing them stupid dishes. Who you think you talking to, Alicia? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You post all of that. Oh my gosh, y'all's channel will go up so
Their
far,
channel get taken
and
down.
y'all will be authentic with it. You actually are not a good guy. You abusive in your relationship. Show it. No, they're playing. No, don't do that. But I'm just saying the fact that you showing the real stuff. See, they don't show their actual issues on social media, and for some reason people think like, oh no, look, they're comparing like, oh, their relationship is great. Look at this. I know a guy that if they take a woman on a date, they got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about how much money they make, this fancy restaurant, the whole, whoop-de-whoop, all the works. So they're showing this stuff, and now they're like, oh, I need
Nah,
a.
you
This
trying
is
to
what
just
the
unrealistic.
conversation is usually like. You are with someone, and it could go both ways. Like the attractive girl I was with, she was. We ain't talking about the attitude problem she had, how much she disrespected me or whatever. We talking about, oh, she looked good, so I kind of expect my next woman to, be up to par with those same looks, you right? So, but then it goes both ways. It's like, my, the dude she dated before, made a lot of money, took on this nice date, maybe took on a yacht. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. And then say, hey, well, I know plenty of dudes that's got this amount of money, so if you're not up to par, then it's the bare minimum for you to be able to make this certain amount of money.
But
You
most
know
of
what I'm
that
saying?
time, that's a bluff. The whole I know plenty of dudes, and then why don't you go be with them plenty of dudes? You know,
Yeah.
you say that to bluff them into changing their actions, and then when they don't, then you wonder why. Well, if that bluff was true, then why did you stay? Because the bluff was fake. They didn't really have nobody. Like that stuff is fake. Like, and I think that's why my comfortability and singleness has gotten so much bigger because it's like all the things that people have rejected me over. You know, oh, your message is green. Nah,
Mm.
whoa, like that really happened to
Wow.
me.
That's so crazy.
Crazy, but I'm talking about I pulled out my phone. Oh, let me get your number. Put out my phone. Whoa, you got an Android? Nah, I can't do the green
They been
messages,
beating you
darling.
up out here in the street.
I'm talking about did a whole
Yo.
U-turn off the strength of
Bro,
that.
if you had a blueberry, let's say BlackBerry, that sounds so stupid.
Blueberry.
If you had
That was crazy.
Virgin Mobile, a
Yeah.
track phone, man, I would be like, oh, perfect.
But my thing is like it's just it's stuff like that just like blows me. Like, oh no, voice is too deep. You too tall. You know, you not skinny enough. You not big
The
enough.
world, yo.
Like the world
media
just
is
pushing all
like-
this stuff. It's the media pushing all these things, and then it's so funny because I literally had to have a conversation with a friend of mine about. I don't think she realized how hello, amen, dodge the bullet. But I had to have a
bullet we dodged.
conversation
Oh,
with a
we talking
friend of
Margaret
mine.
and
Yeah.
Android,
With a friend of mine. She's lighter complexion than me, but she's black. But I had to have a conversation with her pertaining to her colorism blindness within the African American community, because I don't think she realized how difficult it was for us to go out as a group.
Like, you better
And
say
like,
that,
you know, and back then I was dealing with a
Yeah.
lot of insecurities and things like that. So it wasn't that I didn't want to hang out with her, but it was like there would be times when dudes was like, yeah, you bad, but like, you know, or like, you'd be like, it's not that you dark, you just like dark and loud. And I'm like, we're at the club. Like, you want me to lean against the wall and not dance? Like, I'm here, I'm dancing, but because I'm not the chill, light-skinned girl, I'm not gonna get the number. You know what I'm saying? To be like, oh, y'all look, oh, you wouldn't understand how many times y'all look like twins. Let me get your number to her over here. And I'm like, we look like twins. What the heck did you go her for? But again, it wasn't because it's like, dang, she always getting it. It was like me, I'm just thinking like, is this something I'm doing wrong? And then I had to really look around and I'm like, oh, it's something that I can't change. Like, and I think a lot of people don't realize that that's still happening, like to this day. Like the music we listen to, everything pushes this idea of this foreign light-skinned woman. You know, you don't hear nobody rapping about dark-skinned girls. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's something that causes conflict between just us as well, like just black people in general, of like girls that are lighter talking about some, oh well, I don't experience racism like that. You know, it's like, well, baby, because you passed the bag test. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was just a smidge over here. You would have understood. But I mean, and again, it's not as frequent, but it's hard to explain it because people think like, oh, that doesn't happen that often. Like, it happens more than I would care for it to happen. You know what I'm saying?
It's a real thing. I have heard some of my homies say, yeah, I can't date nobody that's black or that's, you know, that matter of fact, they said they don't want any black girl. And I'm just like, the stereotype part is the thing that's weird for me. Like me personally, I don't have I'm just gonna say I have my preferences that are more liked than others. But if I'm just gonna say it like this. If I don't have a preference for green people, right? I'm going crazy because I don't want to make nobody feel no type of way. But if I have a preference for green people, if I don't have a preference for green people, and then that one green person, I was like, oh, hold up. Now that green one right there,
all the other green was light up, but you said.
I don't even know how to say it. I'm just gonna say it like this. All women are like, you know, they all can be attractive. I'm trying to say it the
Here's
right way.
the thing. I feel like I know what you're saying.
I'm trying to get out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to get out. So this is what I'm saying. Like, there are different types of women, and everybody has their preference. It's like, oh, it's cool. You can have your preference, but at the same time, it could be that one person that's outside of your preference.
Let me tell you though.
That fits. You know what I'm saying, for you. But when you eliminate it, it's like
she about to go.
You're doing it off of the rules.
Let me tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying because I was that person. I have a preference.
Yeah.
And this one time I was like, okay, you seem like a nice person. Let me just go for you. They played in my whole face and had the audacity. First of all, weren't as cute as I would like them to be, but I was trying to give them a chance because he was a nice person. So like, on green, pink, purple, white, whatever, like, you can't. Sometimes you just got to let it go. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm not, and like sometimes people be like, you can't just, people be really playing in your face. Like, no, like that, like, oh man, hold on, I got mad about that again. People really playing in your face. Like, you be like, okay, I gave you a chance, and typically I only like tall chocolate men, and so like now it's like you played in my face, like.
Like
And
you wasn't the attractive one.
yeah, like
And
you was the friend, dog.
Like, I'm just like, you can sometimes you got to stick with what you know.
But that's why I say to people all the time when they
Because
say,
sometimes green might.
but it ain't even about that. Like, I don't care if you have a preference. Feel me? I've said this in the last podcast, and I'll say it again. There's a difference between having a preference and having a stereotype fuel your preference.
There you go.
Yeah.
I cannot stand when you're like, oh, I don't mind if a black guy's like, I like white girls. Cool. kudos to you,
Yeah, but
baby.
don't say
But
you
if you
like-
say I didn't like white girls
Girls.
because black girl,
Because black
you're
women are
X'd
loud.
out instantly. It's off right because why are
Okay,
you talking about
exactly.
black
They be like,
women
black
in your
women too
preference?
loud. You be like, what you mean
Yeah.
black
So
women too
what-
loud?
So this isn't saying anything about like, because I'm gonna use green too. What? If,
You don't be using my words.
You use yellow.
so
That's
what
what the
if-
Grinch said. It's
what
because
if
I'm
my
green,
preference-
isn't it?
what
Okay,
if
go
my
ahead.
preference
Sorry.
for green
Mhm.
is shaped by the data that I've collected.
But your data is skewed because
My
It
data-
depends on
because
what-
you
are we
haven't
talking
encountered
about
everybody
race?
in the world.
We're talking about race.
No. He said he's
I'm
gonna
talking
stick to
about
green,
stereotypes.
just
You
the
said
stereotype.
green, but
Talking
green
about-
represents something.
I'm talking about my personal stereotypes of what I've experienced people. So not what I've seen
Because
online.
you talking about
I've
culture.
Okay, go ahead,
How
keep
they-
going.
how
I
they-
want to hear it so I can be able to rebuttal
I've
properly.
seen the natural green
See,
girl.
we all having problems talking.
Oh, I see. Okay, go ahead.
Green is confusing.
Yep,
girl
go
be
ahead.
one thing.
Go ahead.
I've seen the BBL
green.
Okay,
Fisher
now-
girl be
Fi-
one
yeah.
thing.
Wait.
Okay.
Let him land.
I've
Let him land. Let him land. Go
I've
ahead.
seen all,
Yeah.
and I've seen this like I'm sitting there. I'm in college. I got homeboys. They because I wasn't in the mix. I was trying to stay out the mix. But I'm understanding the stories and I'm seeing like what they look like, and so I'm like, okay, this
Hold on now.
mold, this
That's just- I'm just playing.
this type of person kind of fits into this thing, like what I'm looking for.
But I'd argue that that's not necessarily a stereotype. That's a physical preference.
Yeah.
And I
So it's
say
just
that
what
the
you like.
the stereotype is the things that people would characterize as that. It's like it would be different if you were like, oh, I like this because the ones with BBLs are always in the club. There's people with BBLs that aren't in the club. So what I'm saying is that as long as your type isn't fueled by stereotypes, then there's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's like, for example, oh, well, I don't date dark people because every time I talk to a black girl, because the thing that heaps me up is that like I've had a conversation with like 2 or 3 footballers when I was doing their hair, and they boiled my blood so bad because all it was a color thing. But I'm
Them
like, they're
braids
doing the
super tight.
exact same thing. I'm talking about I made sure I braided his thoughts because he had pissed me off so bad. I was like, baby, you about to be
Oh,
thinking for weeks.
He was like, man,
You
why
about to be
is this
thoughtless
like-
for weeks. I'm snatching every edge you got. But no, like he would say something like, I can't stand black girls and their attitudes. They do too much. And I was like, okay, well, what the hell you feel about black girls? Oh, they just so spicy. Them Latinas so spicy?
Same thing.
Are you kidding? Huh?
It's the same thing.
It's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Like
you know what
spicy?
it
Oh,
is,
they
though?
just so little something to them. It's like the something to them is attitude in Spanish, duh.
But
Are
know
you
what,
kidding me?
This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna tell you like this. You can switch things. So
Do y'all think Christians
the
men are
problem-
looking? Do y'all think Christian men
we're
are
gonna
looking
get
the
to that
same
question.
way?
We're gonna get to that
Like
question.
the-
in a second,
okay.
too. But
Like with
the
same
issue,
mentality.
like what you're talking about, that is the real problem. Y'all use all of these. People use all of these things, these traits
Mhm.
that don't have real evidence to tell who you are. Now, when he brought up the BBLs and stuff like that, there's some evidence with that.
How?
What's the evidence?
There is some evidence.
How?
First of all,
Besides they
insecurity.
Okay, but
Okay,
there was
yeah, because they do be walking around looking like ants.
Insecurity.
Okay.
okay,
what
the
you're
majority
saying.
of them I will say, but I'm gonna say that there's a minority that we need to pay attention to because they're
Without the
hold on,
insecurity?
no, without the
Gotta hear
insecurity
this.
because there are some people that get those out of their control. There are people that are in sex rings for somebody who used to work with children off the street and worked with kids and people that came
Okay,
from
I mean,
no,
yeah.
but I'm saying but those are people though. So we're talking about you're looking at
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
and you
yeah.
could be like you don't know her life though because that could have been somebody who was sex trafficked for 14 years and they built that body for her so she could make them more money. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can't always
But a
take
quick
stuff
conversation, I
right,
feel
but you
could-
didn't say conversation. You said face value. You
No,
looking
no.
at
Yeah,
BBLs,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
If we
Of course.
looking, how do you know what her story is by looking? So I'm just saying to take it to make sure we're taking all things so you don't
True,
get hit with other
true.
people saying stuff. I'm just saying outside looking in, we don't know the full story. But the average person with the average
But
life,
still, evidence
it's
is not
insecurity.
evidence
Yes.
is not the same thing as proof.
correct,
Right.
correct.
So the majority, I would say, I
Majority.
think I could give a safe guess, 70%, and that's doing so much.
That's fair.
That's being way too generous.
Yeah.
Way too generous. But even if it was 70% of people who got that by themselves, which is it's probably more like
Still
90,
paying on it 'cause
probably
you
more
can't
like
put it on Klarna.
It's probably more like 98%. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I feel like I could be safe to say, let me stay away from that. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we're Christian people,
Yeah.
we should be having conversations first, anyways, before we start love bombing.
Whew.
Right?
Hello,
So if I'm
amen.
having a conversation with you, you say, "Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna do this next," or "I got this because da 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 da." Now, if you're delivered,
With a
now
T?
that's a whole
Delivered.
nother conversation to
Exactly.
see if I even have the capacity to handle it.
Mm.
So I might not even be the guy that can handle that situation, handle your process and healing. I might not be that guy.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that too. So, but
That's valid.
so you have to think, can I really take on this, as, a possible assignment and a wife at the same time? Like I need to make sure she's healed, and I need to make sure that her past isn't still affecting her present.
Mm.
But then if she's still deciding to do other things, I'm like, I'm gonna stay away from that. If she's saying, I don't know if I want kids, cool. I can't keep pursuing that.
That's a fair assessment.
Not until you're sure. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
if you don't know, then it's like, I'm not going to be sitting up here like, yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of it. Like, I don't want that conversation going on with my relationship.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying? So,
Yeah, I
when you brought that
understand what
up,
you're saying.
I was like, now that's more,
Yeah.
you have more evidence to go based on.
That's
But when
facts.
someone just
Yeah.
says, black people are fill in the blank because you saw this girl that grew up like this and she has this going on. So she made these decisions. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's a totally different circumstance. You can't base every black girl off of these few that you saw like this that you dated when you only dated 3 people. All black people are the same, and it's the same. Like all black men cheat. It's like
No,
the majority.
Talk about it.
But the thing is, the majority of, you can say like a majority of people have, certain issues, but just to put the label like all black men, all men cheat, da 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 da, that's kind of a toxic
But people
mentality.
think that they can say that because of social media. Well, because I'm connected with so many black people
Yeah.
across so many places, this has to be true because all of them are doing the same thing. It's like, dude, you haven't seen even a
Confirmation
quarter
bias,
of
yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Confirmation bias. She
And you
said it.
can't, like, Fresh and Fit, they base all the women in the world off of the few women that come on their show from Miami. It's like, yo, you think that's all the women? You think a woman of value would actually come on that show?
Woo! Hey, high five real quick. Yeah, whoa, because that stupid Pop the Balloon show, you'll never see me lining up for no men. Are you kidding me? Pop, are you kidding me? I would never in my life be that silly girl that line up in a line and let dudes come out there and pop my balloon. Huh? Next.
Would you pop
I done
the
worked up
balloon?
a,
Would you pop the balloon?
If I saw you walking to me, I'd pop it first. You're not gonna get the satisfaction of popping me. Right there myself. Not playing. I done worked up a sweat with that
So
one.
let's look at the question, Jesse.
Yeah.
Do y'all think Christian men are looking the same way?
Like what, Jesse?
Maybe,
Looking how?
Are you saying in the same direction? Or looking in the same way, like stereotyping?
That's what
I
I'm
think he
saying.
means stereotypical.
Yeah. So are Christian men doing the stereotyping? It's hard to say.
Which Christian men? The ones that come only on Sundays or the real?
I think like all of them ain't really Christians just because they go to church on Sunday.
I'm about to say which ones. We talking about the disciples or we talking about the Sunday goers?
We're talking about the
Them
Jessies.
two difference.
Talking about the Jessies of the world. The Jesse Christians.
Well, I would say I think they're looking in a different lens because God calls you to look in a different lens. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Exactly.
the way in which He explains love in the Bible, and I think the way in which He explains but God is very clear on what to look for as well, though, because He speaks on modesty. He speaks on how women should carry themselves. He speaks on how men should carry themselves. So there's certain lenses we are looking through as Christians, yes, but it's not the one that the world is using. Absolutely not, because we're looking for the biggest butt we can find. You know the you know what I'm
That's
saying? Like
crazy.
that's a worldly lens,
yeah.
but that's not what Christians the lens are looking for. So I would say real disciples of Christianity, really following what God has called you to do, you're not looking through the same lens as those people. Now people that are claiming Christianity but still living of the world, lukewarm, aka fakes, then yes, they will still be using those lenses. And I feel like that's a battle of flesh and spirit, because it's like if you follow your fleshly desires, then yeah, you're going to desire to see what the world is putting in front of your face. But when you really truly are desiring what God desires for you, which is whoever He called you to be with, then they might not be that picture that you made in your mind. The man that I thought I was going to be with, I'm saying I'm from Florida, okay? I'm from Florida. I used to like a little hood gym, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna lie. Listen,
Wow,
are we
I
being
can't
real
believe
here or
you,
not?
bro.
I mean, like, so it's like I used to like me a little, I wanted a mouthful of slugs, big dude, tatted up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like my description has
What in the
changed.
world?
Listen, it's changed, okay? Because I've grown as a person, I've grown in my faith, and now I'm
Yeah.
looking through a lens of like, ooh, that look like isn't for me. Now there are stereotypes attached to it. I'm not saying there aren't
He got
good
that
men
cross
looking like
chain
that.
on and he mean it.
Right, but there's not good men that are dressed like that, because there's lots of people that reform and come out of that, like, and God bless you. But it's just like, as I grow, I now have my own business. I now have things that I need to keep in mind. There are places, there are sets, there are commercials, there are TV shows, red carpet events. There are things I need to be able to go to and not have to worry that my partner is going to bring a certain look to it. Because at the end of the day, stereotypes do exist, and I have to be conscious of the person that I'm mixing my life with, and knowing that, are you going to embarrass me? Are you going to match my energy? You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things you have to, as an adult, you have to really actually logically think about. So these are things that I kind of go through.
Yeah, but that's
Go ahead.
that's why I would say yes to that question.
Yes.
That's why I would
That
say
that
yes.
Christian men look.
That's
through
why
a
I would
different
say yes,
lens.
because we're no.
Wait,
no,
did
no,
he
no,
say
no.
a different lens?
I would say we look through like the same.
Same.
Because I don't know exactly
We
what you
look
were
the
saying.
same way,
Uh-huh.
but do it. I guess you
Do
right.
it
In a
differently.
different
We
Okay.
look the same way, but through a different lens.
That's a good way to
Because
put it,
the
yeah.
first thing you gotta look at is like, okay, are they giving me like energy that, and I'm not saying energy, but are they giving off
New age. I didn't know Terrell.
Nah,
was
I can't think of the best. I can't
But
think of the right way to say this.
We
but
energy is
when you
fine.
see-
It's just
I'm gonna say energy is fine.
people
when
have
you-
misused it. But I get
Yeah,
what you're
but
saying.
like if you meet somebody,
Same
like
vibe.
if you walk up to them in the bookstore and they in there, they got on some modest clothes,
Right.
Their hair is down, they not doing nothing crazy. They may have on makeup, but it's just like something light, nothing crazy. And they're like attractive to you. That you gonna say, I think is that a wife? And then you might walk
No,
up to
yeah,
them
understandable.
and be like, okay. And so you looked at it the same way because that's all you got to start with. And then the conversation,
yeah.
then you get into okay, can we actually live the life that I'm trying to live together?
Valid. Yeah.
So I think we look in the same way. It's
Okay.
just we looking for different things.
You just have more self. Yeah.
Which have you seen all the pop the balloons? Like,
Yes, I have.
Have you seen it with like Arlette?
Yes, Arlette is the only one
Okay.
I watch. Everybody else is
because
kind
I was
of
like
childish.
that one is a little more sensible to me.
Yeah, because the other ones are like, pop the balloon, whoever got the smallest booty. Like, Arlette's the one that's actually got people dating for real, like
Yeah,
trying
so
to match.
it was so interesting to me. I saw an episode where it wasn't Arlette's. It was a different one. Everyone was
Okay.
like, one thing I want the girl to be all natural. She ain't looking for a natural girl. Da, 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 da. Then this light skinned girl, obviously she had a BBL. And they was like, when nobody popping a balloon, I was like, bro, I would have been
Nobody
popped my
stood on
balloon.
business, yeah.
Heck nah. What happened? Their perception changed. Now they're like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably was the same the whole time. Who knows? But they're talking like this is what they want for their future wife. And then they're like, oh, no. I'm about to go home with this girl tonight. Like, bro.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
But I'm just
what
like,
episode you're talking
they
about.
want to get
She was wearing a black dress, wasn't she?
yeah.
I know exactly which episode you're talking about.
That is not attractive to me. That to me, I'm sorry. Like, it's nasty, bro. It's nasty. You have to maintain that. Like, I saw some videos. One of these guys was talking about it. Somebody was talking about they had this BBL, and then they said, oh my gosh, they don't tell you the true story about this and how you have to maintain it,
it'll
and how
shrink.
years later it starts to sag. And then you either got to get more injections to boost it up, or you got to do something. Like, you can't just
don't do it.
like, people don't care. They don't research this stuff because social media is influencing them. And then it's worse because there's a cycle of men that they hear that are attracted to this. And it's like, but there's some dudes that's not attracted to it.
Did you see have you watched the Pop the Balloons before? No. So there's an episode of a girl who goes on there, and the first thing out of her mouth when they say, what kind of man are you looking for? And she says, I'm looking for a man of God, someone who loves Jesus.
And they popped the balloon.
Pop, 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 pop. They started going down the line. And the
they
one
popped.
dude that was in line with me, he was like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with y'all? Like, y'all don't want to be with a woman that loves God? And he was like,
I think I saw
me
that
and God, just don't get along. You know, I'm Muslim, so you know, I just like booty, bro.
Oh, that's like
All
more
of
of a
them was
recent
giving
one,
example.
right?
Yeah, but it was a recent one. But I'm talking about, this is a gorgeous woman. I'm talking about anybody with Brittany. Now you could clearly see she
Yeah.
was all
I be
natural,
thinking, like,
super physical, dark chocolate, really beautiful woman. She said
Yeah.
Jesus, and everybody popped their balloon. And I'm just like,
I'm gonna
goodness.
tell you what's even crazier. When they say, okay, yeah, you fine. It's on me. You can put it on you real quick. So, all right. So what's even crazier is they had a pop the balloon episode where the guys, they were like, oh, yeah, we Christian. I need my my woman to be, she gotta love God. That boom 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 boom. And then they're like, okay, so she loves God. Then they get down to like the last two men, and they's like, anybody have any question? He was like, yeah, I got a question. So what's your sign? I was like,
The cross.
Sign.
The
so I
cross.
know this
What
man.
does the sign got
We
to
don't
do
follow
with
after
that?
signs, bro.
Right.
The signs follow. Zodiac signs follow us. No, just playing. No, but I was like, you just blew me with that, bro. You just said,
What's your sign?
you said I'm a Christian. I love God. And then the next time she asks you, do you have a question? You're like, what's your sign? Like, you're trying to make an educated decision here about your woman. This goes into the stereotyping that we do
Yeah.
when we don't have any evidence. We just put all black women, all black men in the same boat, not thinking about, like, all right, are we taking all these other variables into account why they might be this way? Like, do they have a good relationship with their father? Have they done the work to help that situation? If they don't, we don't take any of that into account. Like, you're literally on a dating show making a decision based off of somebody's zodiac sign. Did you have something you wanted to say? Just because, dang.
So, like, that's crazy because it's like it sounded like they was at the end, like close to the end of the process.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, my final,
Thing.
and the final
Question.
thing I need to know
Sad.
is what your sign.
And
Like,
I
that didn't
don't
give
like
you any
that.
better
That was the
data.
confirmation.
They
And I
didn't
don't-
give you any data to let you know if this was gonna be a match for you at all.
But they
Besides
feel it does.
I don't like
Because
that
if you
at
go to the
all.
Zodiacs, they all gonna say the same thing. These things match, and here's why.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Like when I tell somebody, they be like, "Oh, when your birthday?" And I'm like, "September the 6th." Oh, you are. I'm like, what?
Oh, you are?
Mm,
Oh my gosh, you're one of those. I just
And I just be like, what does that have to do with me though as a person?
quiet,
Like,
kept to yourself. That's so
Yeah.
funny. Like,
They
these
also
general
generic.
traits.
They all
Yeah.
generic.
It's like,
and they be like, "Oh, that makes sense for you." And I'm like, "What does that mean? Like, what does it
oh
mean
gosh,
that makes
we're gonna have
sense
to have
for
a
me?"
whole episode on,
Yeah.
on zodiac signs, but I wanted to discuss some of these biblical passages. Ephesians 4:2, be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love. And this verse is encouraging the humility and patience, the important traits in both it says online and offline relationships are, but just having that understanding. What is it? Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. So I feel like, when I see these verses, it just shows like having realistic expectations is like kind of important. Like, really, to me, when you're looking at social media and real life around you, the goal should be, okay, what is me having way too high expectations and standards in the wrong place versus me settling for less, and how do I find the balance?
Ooh.
Amen.
Yeah, it's
Speaking
tough.
tongues, run around the church. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's what I really have my mind tuned in on when I see, like, even when you run into issues and conflict and having certain disagreements, like, is this a healthy way, or is this an okay way to have a disagreement? Is this okay? Like, we're kind of mad at each other. Is this okay?
See,
That's what I try to figure out.
I was just about to say, I don't think people are introspective enough to be able to answer that question properly because a lot of it is pointed at other people, and most of your stuff comes from internal things. You know, like the ability to know if you have an issue when it comes to arguments. That's something you have to be able to look inwards and be like, okay, I have an issue. Like that, a lot of people aren't able to identify self issues.
Even to consider.
Yeah,
it.
to even to consider it, to be able to formulate a proper thing, because it's not just, well, this person has to do this, this, and this. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to do to be able to contribute to that? Because that's also just as important. Because again, it's a partnership. It's not just like you, other person, separate. But again, that's that worldly mindset of thinking you can create your own stuff, they can do that, and then you can just blend, and whatever that's a matchup is fine. It's like that's it'll never work like that. Like it just doesn't. Like the math, it doesn't math.
So like, I guess I want to know like what expectations you put on me, what expectations as far as like, you know, what social media promotes versus what do you think is a more realistic expectation? Like you could say like the social media promotes, her man took her on, like, you know, said like her man took her on a yacht, took her here for her birthday, or he did this or that. And you know, it's so funny. I saw one video where this guy, you know, he wasn't making a lot. You could tell they weren't like rich, you know, just living in some trailer or something like that. And he got her, you know, a bunch of bags of Fritos, her favorite chips or whatever, put it in the shape of a heart. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Anwar, you did this?" He's like, "Yeah." I don't know what that meme was, but I was like, "Okay." Now I would say that looks like that's real.
Yeah.
You know, even though like, you know, people's expectations are like, you know, is it based on money? Is it based on your ambition? You know, because I think, you know, some people will confuse your ambition for how much money you're making. You know, and if you have ambition, you're gonna at least, I would say as a man, you should at least have a job. You know, if you don't have a job, it's like you probably don't have ambition. You know, it's probably a good telltale sign, unless something's going on. but but yeah, so I that's what I want to talk about, like the expectations of social media versus like what do you think is actually realistic? You know, money, you know, certain conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, I feel like everyone's reality depends on them and their situation. You know what I'm saying? Like coming from my job and what I do as professional makeup artist and being on set and encountering so many different people and hearing about so many different people's like life and background, like gorgeous, gorgeous model, gorgeous model. She's super country, just like real thick accent. Oh yeah, I'm from Kentucky. I got married at 20. Just real content with life. Gorgeous, but she's like one of those, you know, girl next doors, unassuming. You know, super gorgeous. Her husband just looked like your average redneck dude, just completely shooting out of his bracket, like just absolutely like if she grew up anywhere else, she would have known. But it was the fact that she had grown up where she grew up. She was like, "This the best it's gonna get," and I'm like, "What, girl? Like you finna be walking in Italy next week? Like look at you, like you're like flawless." But like here go this dude, like, "Yeah, my name's Tom," like that, like Tom's her husband, and she is ride die hard for Tom. Like she said one day for Valentine's Day, she was like, "Yeah, Tom just went and got me some new rims to put on my four-wheeler." And I was like, "Rims?" She's like, "Put some rims on my four-wheeler." I'm so happy. He just knows exactly how to make me happy. And you know, it kind of snapped. I'm like, you know, that's what it is, because that's her reality for her. You know, if you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, then somebody trying to put a plastic one in your mouth, you can be like, "What the heck is this?" You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if that's how you grew up. So I feel like it's everybody's background and the way that you grew up, it forms your reality, but you have to be realistic in that reality. If you grow up with a plastic spoon in your mouth, but you expect your boyfriend to put a silver spoon in your mouth, be for real. You know what I'm saying? Like the average person walking around with that plastic spoon ain't shooting dudes in the silver bracket. Does it happen? Sure. But I mean, if you really look at the longevity of people's relationships, they built up to where you see them now. They only post the highlights, like that dude said on there. And social media is just the highlights. Like you get to see the top of the top, but you didn't see when she was dating him when he was sleeping
In
on
the
the air
trenches,
mattress at their
yeah.
mama's house. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see him grinding and working 3 jobs and her, grinding and taking care of the kids and working 3 jobs. You didn't see that. You only got to see the pivotal side of things when stuff started peaking. So I think if we're realistic in our situation and realistic with other people's situations, and then also coming with a sense of humility and a sense of understanding, like going and being like, oh, I'm not even gonna give him time of day because he's not even where I want him to be money wise. It's like most girls will sit here and say, oh yeah, he don't even make 6 figures. You're not making 6 figures. It's like, how can you demand somebody to do something you're not doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be like, I want a dude who has a degree, who's got their own place, and who's got a car. And I said those things because I had those things. When I lost my apartment, now I stay with my parents. I don't demand that my man be at his own spot because I'm not in my own spot. My standards, not my morals didn't shift, but my standards and my requirements for the time shifted. Because it's like I understand what hard times look like. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be realistic in that and mature enough to be able to shift them to be able to really grow with someone as a real person and not this social media crap. So
So
Yeah.
I do have some questions about that, but I just wanted to go around the room
Yeah.
first. So I guess.
Oh, it's my
dang,
turn.
is that a
Yeah.
piece of wood?
I agree with everything she said. You got to be willing to know where you are and what you like. I'm just like her. I used to be like, baby, if you ain't come with no car, no apartment, no this, no that, we can't date, we can't talk. But I had to look at it like, baby, you ain't graduated from college. Why you want your man to have a degree? Why you want your man to have? I'm working at Chick-fil-A, but I want you to be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense. Like we have to, like he said, you date within your means and
Who
like,
said that? Oh,
Black Wealth
yeah,
Creator
yeah,
Podcast.
Alex, I think that's him. So you have to date within your means and be because I can't expect you to give me a car and I can barely give you a box of chocolates or a box of underwear
man.
or
You
something
can't
like
give
that.
me no chocolate.
Like,
You
you know
ain't
what I'm
getting
saying?
nothing.
Like, it's just stuff
Not just
like
playing.
that. Like, you got to be able to just, whatever makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you can split a pack of noodles with somebody and be happy, then that's what it is.
Make me some ramen noodles, baby.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I'm
I
saying?
like noodles. You know what I'm saying? I love noodles.
That's
Girl.
Go
beautiful.
take me to give me some ramen.
That's so cute. Not Kurt.
Oh man. So I ain't hear much I could disagree with. I think the biggest thing is just social media is like a place where the whole point is to see what other people are doing
Yeah.
and be influenced by it. That's the whole point. And so relationships are pretty much the opposite of that. Like you need to be working towards something together and the world be going to hell. That thing.
Yeah.
So the world
Hell
be
in the
that.
handbasket.
And so it's just social media, the reason that's such a problem is just it gives you that place where your eyes are forcing you to see, oh, is that grass greener? Is that grass greener?
Yeah.
When you sitting in some that you just need to water.
Yeah.
And so like to
Ooh.
their point, but to their point,
That
it's
was
like
good.
just because you see somebody like
That
you
was
see
good.
somebody that's in the same place as you, like if that's not what you want in life, find somebody that might be in that same place.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to what Ashley said, they need to have that same ambition and drive to
Yeah.
say, I know I'm right here. I know I ain't been to college. I know I'm working at Chick-fil-A. You working at Chick-fil-A? Well, yeah, but I'm enrolled and I'm working towards this.
Yeah, that's my
And so
thing.
yeah,
Now.
yeah. So like it's just like, yeah, I gotta find people. Like we gotta find people on the right path, and
Yeah.
not allow the social media to make us believe that we gotta flip a switch and we can be somebody else tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because when somebody
So-
approached me, if they approach me, I'd be like, let me go and tell you now, I'm a server while I'm in school to become a mortician. And then they be like, oh, then that's sparks.
A mortician.
Sparks, see, they do that.
Wow.
A mortician. Then it sparks a whole nother conversation, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, at least they know I'm not just stopping at being a server. 'Cause
Right.
like, a lot of men look at that. They're like, that's all you want to do with the rest of your life is be a server or even though there's nothing wrong with serving because let me tell you, make money. But it's like, come on, I can't be out here and wearing suits going to my 6-figure job and you but I mean some people do that. I know a lady that her and her husband they were my regulars. Her husband is an engineer and she's a teacher. Like she just and she does that because she wants to, not because she has to. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes you get in those situations where like, oh okay, it works for us, but not everybody wants that.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask the question. I was gonna ask the question: what if, what if the man you're interested in doesn't make the same amount of money that you do?
Less or more?
Less.
Okay.
I want to.
Should you expect like, okay, my money is here, so I want a man that makes the same amount or more?
No.
I think as long because what people don't have to understand is that the amount in the dollar sign means nothing because you could be talking to a man who doesn't have or make as much money as you, but he's financially smart. And so eventually he'll be able to flip that nothing and make it into something. But the dude that you run into at the time who's got money on him, does he know how to keep that money? Does he know how to grow that money? Does he know what stocks are? Does he know how to invest? Does he know what to put that money into? If you can't talk, if there's someone who's financially smart, but it's not where he wants to be at the moment, I'll go with the broke dude before I go with the rich dude because we'll be broke eventually, fooling with you. But you're gonna find a way to get from out of this. So it's like that's a conversation that has to be had. It's always situational. Now you can tell within a conversation if that broke person is content with being broke, then cool, be broke. I'll be over here. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. But if that person is got that drive and that understanding of how to get to a certain financial place, and this is just a hiccup, because you never know when you'll meet somebody. You might meet somebody in the midst of a hiccup, but that hiccup, you flip it and it's like millionaire. You know, I'm not saying that's not always the case, but I'm saying every case is situational. So you need to do your job with asking the right questions and using your discernment. There's that word again. Discernment to be able to tell if this person is someone that's actually going to be compatible with you down the line. Like that's hard to kind of answer black and white. There's so many variables in the gray that could make that question a little bit
Yeah, because when I look at taking all of the traits from who the person is and that relationship that you have,
They got a question for you on the board, by the way.
okay.
No, for him.
Oh,
Except for the dad. You the only dad.
But it said and future parents.
Oh, and future parents.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So when it comes to looking at the traits of the person, you know, because you said a man, you know, like sometimes if a woman is taking those jabs saying you're not making as much money as me, da da da, we already know that's a problem. But also the more money a woman makes, the more expectations she could possibly have. A lot of women will have these expectations for that man to be able to make the same amount or more than her, and then her dating pool becomes less the more money she makes with that mindset. So that's the part that I think is like, all right, if you actually seriously want a relationship with somebody, that is something you need to take into account, that if you are doing really well and you've worked hard to make, you know, a lot of money, and you just got to know, like, yeah, your dating pool might have decreased, and then the chances of that guy saying, hey, I want to marry you, you know, that's also something that's also decreasing along with the amount of men that you're talking to as well. So that's just a percentage thing, you know. It's, you know, it just is what it is. It's not like any way to like, it's obvious, you know, if you have the mindset, I want my man to make as much money or more than me. But if you say like, hey, do you have an open mind to be willing to grow your finances? And even if that woman has to teach that man some things, is she gonna say, hey, I know some stuff, but the fact that you don't know it, you're less of a man, and I'm gonna dominate over you because you don't know this stuff, and now I need a man that's more financially savvy than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just things to be aware of.
And I think that's if we're thinking about people shooting in the same pool they were shooting in, if their situation changes. I mean, you have to understand, we're thinking in this bracket because we're in this bracket that we're in financially. But like, rich people run in circles with rich people. You see what I'm saying? So it's like your pool of people changes, like when your bracket changes. Now, mind you, you can be the humble person that stays within the regular amount of people. But I'm talking about when you get to a certain bracket of financial stability, the people you hang around starts to change, because that could also inadvertently affect your finances as well. Because I mean, you don't continue to hang around with broke people if you want to continue to make money. You hang around people that make more money than you, or they make the same money around you. So it's like you might be harder in the dating pool to date the average person, but you're going to be around a lot of unaverage people. So it's like your dating pool might shift. So I think it'll be harder in one sense, but then it might broaden in another sense of like you might be around a different pool of people. Because it's like, I know there's plenty of people out there that are in my bracket, but I know for a fact there's mad people that I've never met before and probably won't cross paths with in a while that are like filthy rich. Like, you ever watch that show Crazy Rich Asians? I mean, these people, I'm talking about, I watched this show and I'm just like, man, like, this is y'all life? Like,
So-
every day? It's
so-
crazy to me.
So I would just say, do you think that if a man, the more money a man makes, the more options he has now?
In his caliber, I would say. I don't think that it makes it increase or decrease. I would
you
say,
think-
I think worldly, I don't know how to answer that. I would
He
say,
already has.
I don't know.
Hey,
Yes.
He can
yes,
already get the girl
Yes.
that works at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
No problem.
Yes.
He can get
Okay.
a good character
But
girl
now,
Already, yeah,
Now
yeah.
you can
Now
get
you can
another
get.
So the man-
I would just say, if we're talking about people we want to actually go with, then that's
there's
different.
there's always a way that
The
this
flip
leads
side,
up to
yeah.
go to.
Of course.
That's why it's just stuff you gotta consider, because you put it on me. The guy that makes more money, you know, and you can go to gospel artists, you just keep going up that line.
Yeah.
They have a contract with their wife that, hey, I can mess with anybody I want to when I'm on the road.
That's crazy.
They got enough money to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
those
You weren't here
decisions,
the last
and the
convo,
wife
yeah.
be okay with it.
What?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I say everybody, but
I just can't believe it.
Who?
What?
Right. I said who?
I'm
Who
saying
is
this
right?
ain't really nothing new. You know what I'm saying?
He said he talked about this the last podcast. He said that there's
This ain't
people
no
that are
new-
like
So,
super
so
gospel.
my brother,
information.
My brother.
Ashley.
Oh,
So I know you in the media. I know you in the media world. You be putting this clause in yours?
No. No, I'm not making enough money to do that yet. No,
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hell for multiple women. I'm not doing that. Because anything outside of monogamous relationships is a sin. I'm not living in sin.
Amen.
So,
Preach, preacher.
but I'm just saying, I'm not saying that there's not. I know there are some guys out there that are making a lot of money that are so willing to be in monogamous relationships. I believe it. But at the same time, the temptation
It's definitely there.
grows. So it's just something you have to take into account.
Yes, that's true.
How many men are going to make that amount of money? If you do what is it? It's a test, and people cannot stand when I bring this up because it is facts. It is they take this from some type of it's like a female calculator or something.
Oh, I know what you're talking
It's
about.
real, though. It's actually they take it from the amount of people that are in I don't know, like they have a social security number. I forget how they count the people, but it's actual people. It's not like they're just
I'm not saying it's like it
Saying.
is irritating to be faced with those numbers. Though,
in
is the
order to
thing.
get past the numbers, people have to bring up like, oh well, God can do anything, and it's like miracles sometimes in the Bible only happen every 100 to 200 years. Miracles ain't happening all the time.
Oh, interject.
Wait. But what is this thing calculating?
It's calculate when you say I want a lot of times people might say like I want a black man.
Oh, okay.
I want him to make at least this much. This is the minimum.
And it's saying how many
And for
actual
men-
people there.
For men, it's like I want my woman to make a maximum of this money because if she makes too much, she's gonna dominate over me. I'm telling you, bro.
Wow.
It's really
And
interesting.
then
to
you
do.
be typing in stuff. Oh yeah, I want this. I want this. The chances of you finding your man is like 0.27%. I'm like, what?
One of my classmates.
And
But
then
those things
the chances of him choosing to date you, it's like even
I was
lower
gonna
because
say,
you
one
know
of
what
my
I'm saying.
classmates was like, oh, for like every one man, there's like 9 women. So it was like that's why most women tolerate stuff. I don't know how
That's what
I
it
don't know
ends
how
up
accurate
doing.
that is, but that's what he was saying. I was like, nah, I don't think
It's probably
that's why.
maybe at best
9
2 to
is
1.
insane.
But yeah, that's why I said 9 is crazy. He's like, that's why people
I
men
think in
have
some
the
places
attitudes that
it's
they
true.
have that will
I think
tolerate
man,
anything from them.
his salary.
It's a
bracket.
very humbling site.
You looked yourself up?
It's a very humbling website. Yeah, I think I was like
What percent?
I had like It has been a
0.2
minute.
said what he said.
No, I feel like
He's
I had
like, I
like
was
a
in the top
23% of finding the woman I wanted. Oh, you talking about like what percent was I in?
Like if you put yourself in, was
I don't know. Like, I mean, because you got to think about it. Like,
Can we do
it's the way it works. It's like,
can we do it?
if I put myself in a category like
Right,
all
I wanna
races
look
of
it up.
all races of man, then that's a bigger percentage. But if you put me in a category like black and white, the percentage drops. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I guess I'm at like I don't know, 10% or something, but I'm not in the top percent because you're just talking about money. But the way the site works, it's not like you're in the top 10% if it's a 10% chance of finding you.
But see, sites like this are also distraction tactics. Like, live in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out, go and do stuff. Stop trying to find people online. I literally watch shows of Who the Bleep Did I Marry? That's the name of the show. These people,
Yeah.
you swear you know this person up and down. Then you all of a sudden, boom, all this stuff happens. You know how you figure stuff out like that? Real life scenarios. You can't figure out how this person's gonna respond in the thing. I had a friend whose boyfriend dipped on her. I'm talking about shots fired. That man, Usain, was out of there. She said, "How could you bail on me? What if I was to get killed?" And he said that you wasn't running fast enough. You don't know. Cause she's thinking he gonna scoop her up. No, like real deal. Like they was at the fair and the people boop boop start popping off. Man left her in the dust and like he caught an Uber and dipped and left her there. Like
Now,
man
taking the
said,
Uber and leaving
man,
it.
that's wild
And
behavior.
calling back. Did
Man,
you
like,
make it
man,
out?
did you make it out? Yeah, because in his mind, he's thinking, boy,
what?
that was crazy. Did you hear that? And she's like, where are you? You left me at the fair. You were my ride here. And he was like, boy, did you hear them pops? That was crazy. Like, man left. Didn't even
Did
think
they
about
meet online?
huh? Online.
Oh my
And I'm saying, but you would have known, like there's certain situations you can't discern of how they're gonna react in person. Like, unless you do real life with these people, like go out and do stuff, start talking to like people and meet people. And where you meet people is where you will find them. Don't get mad at that man in the club every week if that's where you met him. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like you have to start being smart about stuff. I'm not saying go to the book nook and go find some dude tucked in the corner reading the book. I'm saying just live your life. When you're unassumingly not trying to find anybody, that's when that person's gonna cross your path.
But you know, the problem with this is that there's so many anecdotal pieces of evidence where
Yeah.
this person found this person, and then they say that this is the standard for everybody, and God will allow every single person to find somebody. When it's like, yeah, some people's expectations might be so high that you're a Christian woman looking for Superman. So it's like, you might be single. You might have to get a cat. You know what I'm saying? People hate hearing this, but it's like, bro, I'm not being no
The
insecure
cat.
dude. I'm just stating the statistics. So, you know,
Did we ever answer that question?
No, we didn't.
which one?
The-
How do y'all plan on
teaching the kids.
How do you plan on teaching your children about social media? Black Wealth Creator Podcast.
He asked me that.
He said
Oh,
that.
yeah. Dads. Yeah, sorry.
Do I?
The
So he
dad.
said on teaching your children about social media.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the plural superlative word of, not just playing.
Yeah.
No. So I'm trying to think because that's down the road because she in bassinets and cribs.
When is she allowed to
Aw.
have social media?
So
37
probably-
years
I know
old.
TT.
I'll just play.
I think probably like 15 is fine, like in that age range.
Still praying about it, but that's where you are right now.
That's what I'm thinking. Just because we were exposed, at least I was exposed to it around that time.
Yeah.
And so I had time to
Yeah.
at least like understand like what the actual world was.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it wasn't the same. We had
And yeah, I guess it wasn't at the same level as it is right now, but like in my mind, that will be when I can say, okay, now you have my permission, but
The
I can't say
chunks.
she's not gonna be on it because
Yeah.
I can't
It's-
control
it's a
everything.
part
She
of-
might be at school, get on the computer,
a-
type in Facebook, and she got a whole account. And
My
Good.
kid is not gonna be having their phone out during dinner time. They're not gonna have no social media till, maybe 15 is a good age, maybe later. They're not gonna be on YouTube doing all this craziness. I mean, I have to monitor them or something. I don't know, but they're gonna have to learn how to have real reactions. They're not gonna become YouTube talkers,
Walking emojis.
commenting. Yeah,
Exactly.
that ain't about to happen. You're not about to be telling me the new word that came out. Like to
What's
a
the
certain
Sigma?
to a certain extent, it's like I don't have a big problem because kids have their thing and it's funny. They learn from
Yeah.
people at school, but what I need is for them to be able to have a real conversation. I'm going to communicate with my kids often. If I have to work a lot, I'm gonna make it a part of my schedule to say, hey, I have to sit down with my kids. I have to take a vacation. That's why getting yourself set up financially so you can do those things is very important. So you can connect with your kids. It's like be responsible with your money, yo. Like people think, oh, it's not all about money, and it's not. But money controls so much of what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like people act like, certain people
I
are
feel like
preaching this prosperity gospel that they sitting there struggling, taking loans, and it's like, well, you slave to the lender, so that's not good.
I just because my thing about the social media is like, I guess my thought process too, why, because I'm not anti social media when it comes to like my kids. It's just when is it right to introduce it, because it's such an integral part of like at least what the world is right now and what the world is probably going to be in the future. And so if you don't understand social media,
There it
it's really
is.
hard to
Yeah.
Man.
launch like certain things
That's-
and really
Yeah.
be successful and get engagement and like draw people in, because that's where a lot of people are, like their attention is. And
I was
so
just
if
about
you're
to
trying to
say.
do something big with your life, you gotta like you gotta understand social media and how to work in it.
That's true.
And that's what I was gonna say as far as like answering that question for like my future kids. A lot of parents find themselves in situations of thinking they're protecting themselves from protecting their kids from social media in an adequate way, and they're actually not. Like, because a lot of these parents don't even understand half of the apps and what they do and how they work. I feel like if you don't understand the app and you don't know how it works, and your child doesn't need to be on it. Not until you know the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
my daddy was tech savvy down, all the way down. There was no incognito apps. He knew about all of that. The locked calculator joints, if he saw it, it was off my phone. Like, he had them apps where you mirror the phone on his phone. He would click the app and it'll open, and he could see exactly what I was doing. Like, if you're not tech savvy enough to keep up with your child, I feel like you need to be as tech savvy as your children. So that's a working thing that you need to constantly keep up with it, because at the end of the day, there's no way to properly secure your child's safety if you aren't up on how these predators are possibly getting to your child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what those Twitter things, you do. You need to know what they are. And
Figure
if
it
you
out,
don't,
yeah.
take your child off of it, because how can you properly keep your child safe on that app if you don't even know how the app works?
Yeah, and also with all of that y'all said, make sure they know that whatever they post is forever. Just because you delete it, that don't mean
Nothing.
Suzanne over there didn't screenshot.
I could bring it right back.
You know what I'm saying? And got
Suzanne
it.
be screenshotting a
And
lot.
and then sent it around to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta be careful with social media for real.
Yeah, and if sometimes situations may occur, and sometimes situations may occur, and I just want to make sure, like, hey, I can really get on to my kids, but have I done the proper steps to have the communication before I'm beating them down? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just finna go crazy berserk. It's like, yo, maybe, we didn't have an understanding. Maybe I missed something. Let's make sure you get what's going on here. Like, it's people on here that's predators, they coming for you. You know what I'm saying? They don't care how you feel. They giving you candy because they want something else, right?
Yeah.
I'm having those conversations before, you know, before I just and I want to have a relationship with them where, it's a whole kids topic basically. This is what I've learned from, people in my life. I want to have a conversation with my child, so they know, like, hey, you got to be able to talk to me. I don't care what you did, you got to be able to talk to me. I need that understanding from my child. Look, I'm going to get mad sometimes, but I'm mad because I love you and I care about you. We got to be able to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
Don't be scared.
like,
I'm not going to fight you down. You say you did something, come talk to me.
yeah, because I understand like wanting to have the conversation, but there are situations that require an immediate and like intense
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
Like they need to see like the gravity of it.
100%.
Yeah.
And so like me personally, that's something like as an adult I've had to learn, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like monotone a bit, but
Yeah.
like there are situations
Yeah.
that just being cool, calm, collected,
It don't work.
That's
it
true.
ain't it don't instill the urgency and the
There it
importance
is.
of what
Mm-hmm.
you actually trying to say.
It's like that respectful fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show this scenario. All right, this
Scenario,
the
let's
last
go.
thing, then we're gonna close up. So Alex and Jordan met on a dating app. Right after several enjoyable dates, Jordan says to Alex, "Which one is the dude? It don't matter. You fill in the
one.
blank, yeah, however you want."
Them.
Jordan says to Alex, "I really like you. We have great communication. You're funny, handsome, pretty, whatever you want to put it, smart. Everything is perfect. No complaints. However, I want to see other options before I make my decision."
Alex is the dude.
What are your thoughts?
Wait, did Jordan said it to Alex?
Jordan said to Alex. But I guess that would be like somebody saying that to you.
Repeat it again. What they said.
So after several enjoyable dates, Jordan says to Alex, "I really like you. We have great communication. You're funny, you're smart, you're attractive. Everything is perfect. No complaints. However, I want to see other options before I make a decision on, continuing the relationship."
So what was the question after that?
This was this scenario. So
What would we do if that happened to us?
yeah.
Oh,
Personally, me, I'd be confused as to why you were telling me. One, because I'm assuming if we're in the dating stage, I don't date exclusively. I think that's stupid and a waste of time. Personally, I'm not going to solo myself out, and only date one person at a time. Like if I'm going on a date with Alex on Monday and then Jack on Tuesday, well, I already know how my morals would stand up. I'm not having sex with neither one of them, and everything we're doing is just a matter of getting to know somebody. So I think it's healthy to date more than one person at one time, so that way you aren't getting narrow-minded. So me personally, I would be more confused as to why you felt the need to explain to me you needed to go off and talk to other people. I think that that's like kind of like assumed already. Like I don't know. I think it's very much new age to expect to only date me. If you dating me, we only date. And it's like no. If we didn't talk about exclusivity, then there is no just dating me. I understand if you're dating other people, but only me. That would have to be a conversation had. Hey, I see us going in a more serious direction. I'd like to make this exclusive. Then boom. I think the order of how dating has gone has kind of been shambled up because it's new age stuff. So people expect you speaking to me, texting me, only me. It's like that's toxic way of thinking. So me
And for one,
personally,
like,
that
what
would
type of, I
I
guess you
would say-
explain what type of dating.
be yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Were they exclusive?
It didn't say
Was
exclusive.
Jordan and Alex exclusive?
Well, it depends. I mean, I guess this a part of the scenario will go into how you would have it set up with them.
Yeah.
You know, what
Well,
type of
if it's
conversation
not
that y'all have.
exclusive, if it's not exclusive, then I probably would be like her, like, why are we having this conversation? I thought you they know the people anyway, so it's like okay. But if it's exclusive and then this conversation is had, then I'm be like okay, but I won't be here when you come back. Like I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. I did that.
Because this conversation would definitely mean that y'all getting close.
Yeah.
Right.
That y'all like, yo.
Yeah,
it's-
it
it's
is like to
like,
go
yo,
somewhere.
like I feel like it's almost like saying like I'm almost ready to, pursue you and only you,
Yeah,
but I
but
need
now
to
it's
see the other
like-
options. That's kind of what it sounds like.
What
you're
do you
saying.
Yeah.
feel like it's trying
No,
to say?
It's just weird. Like if you like if we talking about like you in that phase before and you just like, man, I really like you.
Yeah.
And you hadn't even already had the conversation of we together.
Yeah.
What is you talking about?
That
Yeah,
thank you.
because
Now-
that's what I'm saying. They had to be together.
So I think it's like one of those. My assumption is that they probably had like a undertone of like they thought they was a thing.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
trying to make sure. Like he probably was even talking to he might have said you the only one. Like I feel like he probably was doing stuff like that, telling her special little things and all that, and then was like, I just seen, and I
Suzanne.
want to go look, and so I want to go back to the.
Let me go
like,
check out Suzanne.
Let me go see what the bidding in the market look like,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna come back if I can't get nothing better.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
see,
with me,
yeah. If it's
Yeah.
that
the
way,
conversation, I'm gonna be like,
Baby, please.
all right, go ahead.
Baby,
I'd be
please,
like, go
no.
ahead, you got it, and then I.
there it is. You got it.
Yeah.
Bookmark that one.
Yeah, so let me see. So yeah, so after several enjoyable days, Jordan says to Alex, "I really like you. We have great communication. You're funny, handsome, smart. Everything is perfect. No complaints. However, I want to
Everything's
see other
perfect.
options before I make
feel
the
like he's
decision
BSing.
to pursue you further."
That's what's throwing me.
That's
The
I'm
everything
so
is perfect
confused.
line.
Yeah, that's I'm so
It's like he's
confused.
Yeah.
bluffing, like he's
Like I
trying to
want.
get out the restaurant, like
Oh,
feel
he
like
trying to postmark her or whatever. What is it?
The
Post-it note or
That's what
whatever.
it sounds like to me. It
Yeah.
sounds like hey, I kind of want
be
to,
in the streets still.
you know,
mm-hmm.
keep you from going to other options yourself. But because at the same time, it's
No,
like
because that would make me go find other options if you looking for options as
because
well.
it's like I'm looking at a lot. I feel like just
This
me.
sounds like a subtle, nice
Like
breakup, but
for
not like.
yeah, for
Yeah.
a man at least, I don't know. I just feel like we would be more. All right, yo, this is, what I'm seeing right now. This if you saying this is perfect, like I'm just about to go with this. Like ain't
That's the
nothing
thing. The
wrong.
perfect word is throwing me. You said everything's
Yeah,
perfect, but
the
you
perfect
still
is
need an
what got me
option.
doing. It got me.
And perfect in the
Right. This sounds
utopian
like Alex
sense,
Jordan got
obviously
rejected.
doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, but
So if I'm Alex Jordan, once
Once my tears are dry from being rejected and mourning. You mourning the loss after 3 Hold up.
they said several.
You
She
been on
said
3
several.
Yeah.
Nah,
More than
nah.
the loss is
Several.
Get out.
Let me tell you something. The fact is that it only takes 14 days to build a habit. So if we dated for a month, you could still have to mourn that relationship, even if it
Yeah.
wasn't something like that, because it was a habit. You're mourning the habit and the natural ways of your life.
What if he sees those options and then he comes back to you and it's like, look, this is it.
Yeah.
Then it's like,
more
oh,
options.
I feel like a second
Yeah,
option now.
yeah.
I
Huh?
feel like if you just want to be honest, if you just want to be honest and be like, look, I'm trying to be out here.
Right.
Like if you just say that, just say, look, I feel like you a serious candidate, but I want to be out here and I got a little more oats I gotta sow.
So it's like it's more so
Everything
the
was
way that they're
perfect.
wording
Exactly.
So if you just ain't got the sit down, settling lifestyle ready, I can understand it. I can understand it there if that's what he's trying to tell her. But just say that.
it. Yeah.
It sounds like he's trying to find a nice way to be able to cut things off, but he wants to tempt her or him to go back doing what he was doing so she doesn't feel as guilty talking to other people. Because I feel like this statement is coming from like y'all have been talking, but it's been exclusive, but you started talking to somebody else, and now your guilty conscience is trying to make you feel better about it. So it's like, because I know I'm talking to somebody else, hey, just so you know, like, I think we're doing great, everything's good, but like, if you want to go and talk to other people, by all means, go ahead, it's fine. Like, like to kind of take the weight off of what you're doing, when in reality, you're not all the way here. So
Yeah.
that's what that's giving. That's how I was confused. Like, this is giving way deeper than like regular baseline
Yeah.
scenario. I need more
Yeah,
facts.
we're some investigators at this point.
Slick, you dealing with a almost FBI agent over
Now,
here.
did the
So
woman appear uneasy by the statements, and that's why you had to pacify her? Is that what happened?
Nah, you probably just don't want to cheat on her or something.
yeah, nah, yeah, we can't be exclusive no more because then it's cheating.
Yeah, that is because that's a real thing. It's very interesting to be dating someone and have like I mean, honestly, what do you do? Like you're trying to find the person for you, and you're talking to multiple people. So I guess the only question is the
Yeah.
healthiest way to date, which maybe we'll cover on another episode. You know what I'm saying? Got to do our research, come back and say how should we date effectively because we
No,
have
who knows?
multiple options. And you need to figure out which one's gonna be the best out of these options. Is this cheating? You know what I'm saying? Like all these questions, we'll answer next episode on Ashley Keaton. Oh, no, I'm just playing.
Next time.
But we're gonna give our on the JAK pod. Let's do our final thoughts, about a minute or so on what you think of the conversation, or yeah, starting with
I go.
Okay.
All right. So, final thoughts. Social media is not the devil. Social media is just like,
it's just the devil's little brother.
yeah, it's like an advocate. It's like it's an agitator, man. If you already want to step out, or if you just don't respect your relationship, social media is gonna blow that jump. out the water because you out there, you got access to all these people. You just asking for trouble at that
It's the
point. If you don't
Ashley
have
Madison
temperance,
of your life.
yeah, if you don't have temperance, like
Yep.
social media is your enemy, you need to get off of there.
Yeah.
And so, I think we just need to use it responsibly. It's a great tool. Like, like you said, we are in the entertainment space right now.
Yeah.
We're streaming, we're doing all these
You think we
things.
ain't trying to go viral?
Yeah, well, I ain't
For
trying to-
Jesus.
yeah, we trying to
Push
we
Jesus
trying to
out there,
we trying
not
to
me.
say something
Oh, boy.
important, and we want people to hear it. So
Right.
it's
For sure.
a tool. Let's not abuse the tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed the conversation tonight. I think that what he said is true. Like, social media is not the devil. We just have to use it. Like, a lot of people use it for like LinkedIn and getting to meet
Yeah.
people and going to different events. Like, when you use it in that retrospect, like, it's not. I mean, retrospect, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not as bad. But when you get on there and you just making it the devil, then it's like, okay, like, come on, y'all. Like, I know we was talking about relationships, but I don't know why, but like, kids really, like, you got to be careful because kids are on social media. Unfortunately, like, I try to filter out my social media, like, try to make sure, like, even my little cousins, they can't even be my friends on social media, even though they my little cousins. It's like, yeah, I can't be my friends till y'all 21. Just even though my social media ain't saying nothing, like, you can get on my social media right now. I probably done posted something about Jesus recently, but it's just like, you got to be careful with stuff because kids are watching and kids are absorbing everything that they see, whether you believe it or not. Like, just go watch your little cousins, watch them, watch what they do. So you just have to be careful, and also make sure you teach your kids not to tolerate anything just because somebody to be careful. But that's what I meant to say, because there are predators out there on social media. Even adult women, be careful because they're trafficking out here. Men too. So just be careful with who you reach out to and what you post, and just be diligent in everything that you do with social media because, like I said, it's gonna be there forever.
All right. Ryan,
I just say, I think we've got to get to a place pertaining to the topic at least. Social media cannot end up being your God. I think when you make social media your God, when you make it the center of your decision making, when you make social media your Google, when you refer to social media for everything that you do in life and you let it inform your steps, I think that's when you start to get into predicaments that aren't of God. I think if you walk with God and then allow social media to be a tool within that. Sometimes God utilizes that to help you push, kind of like what you're doing here with this podcast, to help you promote the right things. But it's only when you get into a space of social media informs everything that you do that you start to see the worldly cracks show up in your life and you start to see problems. So I would say pertaining to relationships, your children, everything, just be conscious of the foundation you're building your life on, because a lot of people are building it on social media, and social media changes every other day, hence why people are super happy one day and then super depressed the next day, because it's like the foundation they built their life on, it shifts all the time. God's foundation doesn't shift. It's there. It's everlasting. And so I would say follow God, let him inform your steps, and then let social media kind of just be like a fun addition. But if it's social media and then God, there'll always be issues. So I think that's like the simple version of it all. Yeah, don't replace God, because a lot of people think social media is God. Like, we worship social media, like that's just end all be all. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning, you're not opening the Bible app, you're opening to see what messages you missed on Instagram or what videos you missed. Like, social media is controlling people, and it's a real problem. So it's just reining it back in and taking back control, and praying that off of you, because I feel like that's a spirit of FOMO, and I don't see that.
Yeah. To what everybody said, it's so important to understand that social media is kind of like a different dimension, and it's a different group of people. It's the same group of people, but the way that they show themselves is a little skewed. It's a little different. So you have to understand, like, do I want, like, if you're in the world of Instagram, for instance, what do I want to see on my explore feed? What friends do I want to follow? What do I want to be my environment? When you read the Bible, Paul, Peter, John, Matthew, all these people, they become your friends. Jesus becomes your friend because of how much you get to know him, because of how much you get to know the relationship. The music that you listen to, Young Thug can be convincing you over time to put on a skirt. You know what I'm saying? Or you can have Christian music promoting an influence in you that causes you to change the group of people that are around you. This is an environment where you need to be fully aware of what it is doing to you. And I always bring this up. Psalms 1 and 2, meditate on our word day and night. When you do this, it changes who you are. It rewires your brain. It affects the anatomy of you, of your spirit. So you have to understand that when you are engulfed inside of Instagram or YouTube, if you're gonna be on there, which you need to include the Bible into your daily walk with God. But if you're going to be on social media, sometimes you need to disassociate and take a break so you can get back to the real world. But then also when you're there, you need to look for things that speak truth. You need to say, wait a minute, I like what this is saying because I agree with it, but is it true? Am I willing to do the research behind this, or am I going to build a confirmation bias around me, a big wall of confirmation around me on social media to where my social media reflects every single thing that I want to believe? Or is it reflect, like, I have people that I follow that I disagree with on purpose because I want my mind to be open to truth, not to an echo chamber. Don't make your social media an echo chamber. Make your social media speak things to you that sometimes are uncomfortable. That's like, they're stepping on my shoes right now. They're reading my mail. You know what I'm saying? As they say, like, I want my social media to speak stuff to me sometimes that kind of hurt, but that's true. That's what I needed to hear. So you can make your, like, social media can be a very good tool if you use it the right way, if you're open-minded to the truth. You have to be a truth seeker when you're on social media. So many things that are telling you this is how a relationship should go without even saying this should be how a relationship should go. You see how theirs goes one day where they're in a good headspace and they've got the money to do this thing. In the background, you don't know that this woman could be getting abused, that this man could be getting even emotionally abused. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea. You're just looking at this thinking that this is how their relationship goes, so it's the bare minimum to expect it, not knowing, hey, there's a such thing as real life, right? And you need to figure out what that looks like with God, with the Bible, with the truth. So I think we had a good episode today. Appreciate everybody for coming on. Please like the video on your way out. It really helps out with the algorithm. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us out tremendously. And also subscribe if you're feeling it. Hit the bell notification to get notified every time we go live. We go live every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about different subjects dealing with faith. This is a faith-based channel. We talk about relationships, sometimes finances, prosperity gospel, poverty gospel. Sometimes we'll get into politics because who's better to cover it than the people of God? But, you guys have a blessed day. God bless you. We out of here.